This is a YouTube announcement. Over the coming months, we'll introduce updates and inform viewers when the content they see is synthetic. Specifically, we'll require creators to disclose when they've created, altered, or synthetic content that is realistic, including using AI tools. When creators upload content, we will have new options for them to select to indicate that it contains realistic, altered, or synthetic material.
Now, I'm sure this statement creates a lot of concerned questions in your head. Will AI content not be monetizable? Will YouTube shadow ban my AI content? And should I stop using tools such as vidIQ's AI coach to suggest titles and write scripts? No, it doesn't mean any of that. But in order to understand why, you'll have to keep watching. Yeah, sneaky watch time retention trick there. YouTube has provided some mock-ups of how this information might be disclosed to viewers. For YouTube Shorts, you can see the alert is displayed both in the description and painted onto the video player screen too. There aren't any mock-ups of the long-form or desktop experience, but we can only imagine it will be very similar to the way the includes paid promotion notification pops up in the top left-hand corner of the screen at the start of the video. And YouTube will also disclose when one of their own AI creation tools is used, such as the Dream Screen feature that's available from the YouTube Creator mobile app. And that's the key thing to note at this point. YouTube doesn't hate AI. It doesn't want to prevent you from using AI. It even has its own AI tools. But it does need to start establishing the parameters around why, when, and how it's used.
AI's powerful new forms of storytelling can also be used to generate content that has the potential to mislead viewers. This is especially important in cases where the content discusses sensitive topics, such as elections, ongoing conflicts, public health crises, or public officials.
Now, this isn't really any of the examples just mentioned, but it is a popular example of a famous person being impersonated through AI, which may actually fool you into thinking this is really Tom Cruise.
You keep your hands clean, but you need that exfoliating product to really cut through the grime.
And this is where an important decision has to be made. Does the AI alert appear just in the video description or also during video playback? For the Tom Cruise impersonation, maybe, but probably not for something like this where it's clearly AI generated.
Hit that like button and subscribe to Paisa Waisa.
I guess Paisa Waisa have just got a free shout out. Their channel is one of the many who have jumped on the use AI to make lots of money bandwagon in the last 12 months. Yes, this is exactly the type of channel automation and content generation these new policies look to, how do I put this, legislate. But as well as protecting viewers from being misled, YouTube also wants to protect creators from being exploited.
We've heard continuous feedback from our community about the ways in which emerging technologies could impact them. So in the coming months, we'll make it possible to request the removal of AI-generated or other synthetic or altered content that simulates an identifiable individual, including their face or voice, using our privacy request process.
So yeah, maybe Tom Cruise does feel a need, not for speed, but for privacy. In addition to this, a request can be made to remove AI-generated music that too closely resembles an artist's unique style, but it may only be available to YouTube's music partners, whatever that means. As I said earlier, this is YouTube Fixes AI on the platform, version 1.0. There is a lot of detail I'm not going into, which is why I highly recommend you read the blog after you finish watching this video. In short, any YouTubers who've been taking advantage of the platform through AI black hat tactics are on notice. The hacks, the loopholes, the exploits are about to disappear, and your day of reckoning is coming soon. But now we need to get back to a key phrase that was mentioned at the beginning of this video. Creators required to disclose. That means you've got to tell YouTube whether or not you're using AI. Will this be in the form of a simple option like the paid promotion one, or an entire screen similar to the ad suitability guidelines that covers all sorts of stuff? But perhaps the most difficult question of all to answer is, what constitutes enough AI use for me to disclose that to YouTube? Does a fake background generated by AI count? I can see that being a huge headache for YouTube to try and answer in the coming months. And you, the creator, have a responsibility to be honest and transparent with your answers.
Creators who consistently choose not to disclose this information may be subject to content removal, suspension from the YouTube Partner Program, or other penalties.
Yep, education on this topic is going to be critical, which is why we're here. So make sure to subscribe. Cheeky call to action there. Now I know for a fact that this video is going to generate a lot of questions from you, the creator community. And I'm going to be honest, I haven't got the answers yet. But post them anyway, just in case YouTube is watching, and it may help them educate you when all of this lands next year. And if you want to see how we got on when vidIQ created a fully automated AI channel on YouTube, the epic story is over here now.
It's down to pig Donald
Named
Trump
Rappaport.
and smoking Joe Biden. I'm sorry. I am sorry.
Why are you fucking
Voting
sorry?
for pig Donald Trump is on the table. I'm sorry. I'll still call him slob Donald Trump, pig Donald Trump, and all that.
You know, I don't get why these people maybe I ought to put overhead. Anyway, I don't know why these people hate Donald Trump so much. He has a lot of money. He's got an outgoing personality. He's harsh, I guess. I don't particularly like him, but I don't hate him. I think that's just stupid. He did such a good job, and people are still shitting on him just because he's Trump. I'd definitely vote for him again because he did a fucking awesome job. He ran this country like it was a fucking business. And that's what we need. We need somebody with fucking backbone and a mind of their own to run this place. And if they can't, then get the fuck out. Seriously, it's so fucking stupid.
But we need to get this whole situation under control.
Now, of course, he's still attempting to play both sides by launching ad hominem attacks against Donald Trump within the content of his video. Oh, no, I don't like Donald Trump. I'm still calling him a shit dick 2024 Donald Trump. I hate him. I very much hate Donald Trump. But, you know, maybe policies are pretty good and maybe we should consider voting Donald Trump. What an absolute loser grifter. But it tells us one thing. You know things are bad in the leftist Biden camp. When even guys like this who've made their entire identity, like their entire shtick is being anti-Trump, when even they are starting to have second guesses. Like when Joe Biden is so freaking bad that this guy, whose literal job security is based on shitting on Donald Trump, when even this guy is like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't like run America into the ground with this old creepy geriatric guy. Maybe the last guy had some decent policy proposals when it came to the economy and the southern border. If that guy is taking that stance, then you know that you're seeing a massive shift here. And friends, we are absolutely seeing a shift here. It's undeniable. I mean, come on. Trump has never polled as good as he's polled. Now, I know, the
And somehow the Democrats are still going to win after when this is done.
Probably won't even be the nominee.
Somehow.
Ron DeSantis surge in Iowa specifically, and it's gonna.
Damn it! I need to go to fucking Home Depot.
Losing in the end. Now, okay, I get it, Ron DeSantis shills. That's your
Home Depot or Lowe's.
Entitled to it, but in the real.
Anyway, it's raining out. A gentleman that I'm making a holster for got a hold of me Friday. He said he just wanted to see what was going on. Hold on, let me turn my music on to my headphones. Where is it? There we go. And let's see if I can hear myself talking so it'll go over the top of it. Woo! Anyway, I hope it goes down far enough so you can still hear me. Forgot what I was talking about. That's what happens when you get older. Turn down that. Turn down this one. I could get boxes. Oh, I was talking about. So when I got back into making holsters again, guy gave me, a shit ton of money to get going again. And it hasn't been... I had to remember because I hadn't been doing it for over a year. And I love doing it. Love doing it. If I could do it full time, I would. But it's taken me much longer because I have 3 jobs. Because this isn't paying bills. This is a hobby at this point. I want to make it a job, but I need to quit my other stuff, and I need to be able to upscale what I've got. And right now, I'm just set up to do one at a time. And I've only got, like I said, I don't have a whole lot of time to do it because I have 3 jobs. I do my insurance thing. I make headstones whenever somebody comes in for it, and I pick up people. That's the one that really kills me because it could happen at any time, middle of the night, one right after the other, and then go right to work. So I might not get any sleep at all. That hasn't happened yet. Thank God. It's been pretty damn close though. But so the progress on me getting these done is pretty slow, and thankfully nobody's complained because I let them know ahead of time. But so had this guy's 22 FN 22. It's a 502 FN 502. It's a 22. I've had it for a little bit, and now I'm getting starting to work on it. But I mean, I could work on this, no problem. I could press it right now and give it to him just so he has a holster. But it's raining out, and when the humidity level is high, it messes with the Kydex. Because what happens if any moisture gets on the Kydex when you go to heat it, put it in the press, and heat it, it creates steam, and the steam is not your friend. So it'll cause the Kydex to blister, and it just turns out like shit. So I can't really do anything today on pressing because, like I said, it's raining. So I'm gonna remodel. Over at the funeral home, they're doing a lot of remodeling and stuff, and they had leftover wood. I don't know. Hold on, let's see if you can see it. What? All right. Over there in the floor, there's a bunch of leftover wood. So what I'm gonna do is that whole wall right there where you're gonna see it, I'm gonna put the plywood on the wall, and then make it kind of look like a barn door. That portion. Then the lower portion, I'm gonna put all the rested stuff down in the lower part, so it kind of looks cool. I think it'll look cool. And as long as I don't have to keep running back and forth to Home Depot and then finding something else that I want to do, I mean, it should take me, I'm gonna say an hour. Probably it's more than likely gonna take me all day. Because I'm gonna start, stop all day long. So it's gonna take me forever to do it. But in the meantime, like usual, I mean, not usual because I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of this. Yeah, I'm just going to be watching videos and listening to music. So, blah, blah, blah. What you gonna do with me? Now remember everything. I wonder. Hold on, I'm trying to see if I'm all synced up. Remember everything. I think it's still off. Can I delay it? Filter, gain ducking limiter, gain. How about? Is there a delay? Yeah, it's definitely off. Oh. How can I pop that up? Oh, God. Where did I go wrong? Let's try that. You are my king. What else? I haven't been doing a whole lot of videos because I've just been exhausted. My nose is falling apart. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. News on that. I don't have money. I don't have money to pay for it, and it's going to cost a lot of money. Money that I don't have. If I didn't have to pay off my credit card bills and everything, I could save money to go towards that, but I got to get rid of my credit card stuff. One card's almost done. The other one's going to take me about a year to get rid of. So, it is what it is. But my wife is amazing. I don't know. She loves me. Everything she does, it's obvious that she loves me. She's trying to figure out how to get money together to get rid of this, because it's getting bigger. But anyway, yeah, she's amazing. So she found one thing that they can donate money, like $2,500, and then after the new year you apply for it again and hopefully get another 25, and try and find some money somewhere else. I was actually thinking about doing a raffle to make a holster for somebody, and it's like a cancer donation thing for me. So you put in like $10, and you get a free holster. Not just for $10, you have to win it. So I have to figure out how many, like a minimum amount, like a goal to reach, and go from there. So I need about $10,000 would be a good starting figure. But they're gonna have to rebuild my nose because it's all the way up here now. I can feel it. So all of this whole, I don't know if you can see it in the picture, not really, but all the way up here I can feel like the density changes. You can feel like it lifts up. So it's all the way over here, and I think it's inside too. So might be easier just to take the whole thing off. That's what I always thought was going to happen. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm not going to be pretty anymore. Anyway, so what I'm doing right now is I'm going to relocate that light that was there. I'm going to put my little support system, rebuild it so it covers the whole table, because what I'm actually going to do is have the light built onto this, hanging over the table. So whenever I move the table, the light goes with it. I've got an old light. Hopefully it doesn't blind everything, to put right in the center. That light's going to go over that bench, so I have to buy some more of these things. So we'll see how it works out. But I've been wanting to do it for a while, but if you know me, I'm always kind of trying to find the least expensive way to do it because I don't have money. And most of the time, it works out pretty good. Just wait, God will provide. So there's that. I need to buy some new hard drives, main drives, whatever, for the computer, because my computer, sometimes when you go to start it up, it doesn't want to start. So like, I think something's wrong with the boot up drive. So I need to get a new drive for that. I got a whole bunch of shit. I just wish I had money. This would be so cool if I had money. I'd have my own place to do the Kydex, like a building, and big enough so that I could expand it. I could do all my custom computer stuff. There's so much stuff I want to do. I just don't have money to do it all. Whammy. Anyway, let me throw this on the table, see what size crossbar here I need. And then I'm going to run to Home Depot because I got to finish this fucking thing. Anyway, so back to videos and whining.
Undeniable. He is leading across the board. He has massive projected victories where it actually counts. Joe Biden is dazed and confused and, tripping all over himself. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows that Joe is in serious trouble. And it's to the extent where Michael Rappaport is thinking of jumping ship. Like, that is rock frickin' bottom. Well, maybe not rock bottom. We have to be accurate in terms of where we quantify these things. I'd argue rock bottom is where Justin Trudeau currently is in the state of Canadian politics, down 15 points in the polls and at a 25% approval rating. That's freaking rock bottom. But Joe Biden, he's getting there. I'd argue he's almost there. People are done. He's done. People are done with him specifically. Let's focus more on that point than anything else because, that's really the important factor. People are just not enthused with Joe Biden. People don't want to vote for Joe Biden when it comes down to the policies that actually matter outside of abortion, which, look, it just is what it is in terms of the American political worldview. Outside of the issue of abortion on every topic, when you ask regular folk, you say, well, who did a better job? The answer is unequivocally Donald Trump. Whether it's the southern border, immigration, foreign policy, energy policy, economic policies, whatever the policy, except for abortion, whatever the frickin' policy, Trump is leading. And maybe healthcare, but it's not like Democrats, are at a stellar high approval rating on the issue of healthcare. They're just as corrupt and inept in terms of any, moderate, rational reform that would help the most.
Moved everything around, so now I can't find it.
So at the end of the day, I think people are coming to this sort of realization.
This place is a mess right now.
Maybe they should rethink this sort of persona that they've put on of Donald Trump bad. Donald Trump must be stopped at any and all cost. I think a lot of people are starting to think, hey, I'm out of work. I'm going broke. I literally can't feed myself anymore. Maybe this whole, orange man bad personality transplant was a little bit of a bad idea. Maybe a little bit of a short-sighted endeavor on my part. It's an absolutely beautiful day. If you needed any evidence that things were changing, well, here it is. This is the only evidence that you needed. And that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this Michael Rappaport
Spacer.
situation. Just, the voter shift and sentiment that we've been witnessing thus far. Whether you believe it, whether you think it's there, whether you're experiencing it yourself anecdotally, or whether you think it's total bogus, polls are rigged, data's rigged, it's all rigged, and Trump is screwed no matter what. Let me know your perspective, whether it's blue pill or black pill. I'm curious. You guys know exactly where I stand. That's the video. Also, if you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. We'd love to have you here. Thanks for watching, friends, and I'll see you on the next one.
I've got to screw this thing down because that pipe's in there way too tight. That's what she said. Video. Oh, hotness. There we go. Because you guys really don't give a shit about what I'm doing, do you? What the fuck? I bet you that guy's channel is automated. That one that we were just watching, I was looking into that. Passive free, you don't have to do shit. Well, you have to do stuff, but you write a script, you have somebody speak it, vocalize it. Somebody, the gun store where I went to said, maybe I gotta do those. I gotta buy a 365 mold and start making stuff for that. My gun guy said that 365s are still popular.
One of the
So if those are the popular ones, I gotta make those in order to make any money.
An idea, if you're looking at one of these guns, like which one is the best? Is it worth going with the comp, TAC Ops, or even the base model? Hopefully I can help you out. I'm gonna give you the pros and cons, show you how they shoot, and I'm gonna tell you which one I think is the best and why. at the end of the video. So if any of this helps you out, consider subscribing. Really appreciate y'all. Let's go ahead and get into it. The P365 in general changed up concealed carry. It took, 6 and 7 round carry guns up to a minimum of 10, and that standard has been set now for many years. And from there, they went with the XL or the X now, and then they went with the X Macro. The X Macro kind of
make it all even
for people that like a full-size gun, full-size grip, but they want the thinness of a Micro 9, and that's what this gun provides. Another thing that they changed from the P365 to the X to the X Macro is the lower frame module, and that's kind of the heart of the X Macro in a way, because now we have a Picatinny rail up front as opposed to the proprietary rail on the P365s. We have a longer grip, so each one of the X Macros I'm going to show you today is 5.2 inches in height. They're all 6.6 inches in overall length. And the weight ranges. So like the X Macro that you see right here without
this is definitely going to take me all day.
It's like 21.5 ounces. The TAC Ops is 22.8 and the base model is 22 ounces. So essentially you have a full-size gun with a really thin grip that's about the length of a Glock 19, and it gives you 2 additional rounds. So the X Macro that we're looking at here, this is the comp version, comes with 2 17-round mags. It also has the integrated comp, so that's where they get the name. And so this is designed to keep that muzzle down and make it as flat shooting as possible.
Almost makes it. I want to have as few junction points as possible.
An issue that you may run into, or that some people run into
That's
with
funny.
Smaller Micro 9s, is that they can be fairly hard to shoot. And so they made a gun that's a little bit bigger, thinner, but it makes it a much easier gun to actually shoot. We have a viewport so we can see our brass down in the chamber. And then I'm rocking one of the Romeo X.
Is that it? That's a 365?
Sent these guns, so
It looks more like a 320.
super appreciative of that. They also sent their new.
Unless that guy's tiny.
I'm excited about, because their old Romeos I was not a fan of, not at all. You have buttons on the outside here that are super
That looks
tactile.
bigger.
You can get to them. There's no more digging.
If that's a 365, what? I gotta look that shit up.
Single button that was just awful. You also,
Because I thought SIG's 365s were smaller.
so you don't have to take the thing off, which is great. They also have fiber optics that are on the back with this nice cutout, so it's going to witness with your original X-ray sights. Each one of these has the X-ray sights too, by the way, which are some of the best pistol sights on the market in my opinion. Blacked out tritium in the rear, that nice green dot in the front with the tritium insert. So this whole thing co-witnesses.
I kind of want to stick to the
A
CZs.
nice clear dot on it. It's got the
Because my wife has one. She loves it.
activated system in it. It is a step above what they were putting out before. So I'm really happy that they have these out now. This one has a little bit of an extended beaver tail.
That's,
and pretty much all of the
Rose.
triggers
Why are they
are
fucking
about
putting
the
colors
same.
on it?
Flat face triggers, and you're gonna get very little travel. So you get to the wall quickly, and then it pulls right through. There's not a ton of travel in this trigger. It's set a little bit forward because if you look at it, you got a little bit smaller grip. So one thing they do really well, and this is the medium grip on here, by the way, it comes with interchangeable back straps too, which is nice. But with the medium size grip, I could probably go down to small for this one and have even a better reach to the trigger, although I saw no real issues. The thinner the gun, especially guns that don't have back straps, you're kind of stuck with what you got unless you add something to the grip, and there's nothing you can really take away. So having the reach where it's set, I think, is ideal. And like I said, I would probably put the small version on there, give me just a little bit better reach to that trigger. But overall, it is set really nicely. We have a standard slide release on this gun, takedown lever, magazine release is in a great position. If you notice, magazines pop right out of the gun. And then, of course, we have a pretty awesome grip texturing. It's not too aggressive, but it is aggressive enough where I can get a solid purchase on the gun. Plus, it's pretty much a full-size grip, which is nice too. Front and rear slide serrations there. Overall, just a really awesome package. These things come in, though, at like, you know, $800 to $850. So they're on the upper end when it comes to cost. Next one we're going to cover is the tac ops. Now, I'm not going to bore y'all and cover every single detail that we just went over, but I will touch on the things that are important that differentiate all three of these, right? So pretty much everything is the same that we just talked about, okay? The difference is instead of 2 magazines that comes with the comp, this one comes with 4 17-round magazines. It also has an extended mag well there. So it makes, getting those mags in and out, especially in, a little bit easier. And so I really like the way they've set that for my hand specifically. Kind of creates a good stopping point on the grip. I don't know, it fits my hands really well.
Made it so well it doesn't want to come apart.
One thing you'll notice is it doesn't have the comp. What that does is obviously it's going to affect the muzzle rise as you're about to see, but we also get a little bit longer barrel.
That was cool.
So on the comp version, you have a 3.1 inch barrel. The rest of that length is made up with that integrated comp that's in the slide. By the way, all three of these have a stainless steel firearm, stainless steel slide, carbon steel barrel, nitron finish, by the way. But this one actually has a 3.7 inch barrel. So you get a little bit more velocity there, which is kind of nice. It is still optics ready, by the way. Your footprint, by the way, is the RMS shield. So your Delta Point Pro, EPS carry, Romeo Zero. I think Bushnell makes one that's in that footprint as well. So either way, it's going to accommodate quite a few optics without the need of any kind of plates. And it does fit with the Romeo X.
Fuck it up to get it out.
If you're going to compare the X,
that's why that motherfucker's not coming out.
go with the X. I promise you, you will not be disappointed when we compare those two. Now, one thing you'll notice too is that this actually has the extended slide release. So that allows us to get a much better drop on it. And if you just use it as a slide stop, which is what I do most of the time anyways, it's just much easier.
I was trying to pull these things out. Okay, now that I'm not hurting. I can talk about it. So I set
Still nice to have
one of these bars. This one's screwed down so it's not going anywhere, and I set one on the other side. Just put it there.
If needed, or
and I'm trying to hold onto the table. The table's moving. I don't have the wheels locked down, so I grab a hold of the bar and got hold of it, and the table started to slide. So I'm pulling back on the bar that's not secured and whack myself in the face.
I feel no
I think the reason why I didn't like those was because they're too narrow. I don't like the way it holds my hand.
Red dot, I can pick up
But that's a compact. Anyway, trying to get these things out. I was trying to pry them up. Couldn't. Use a screwdriver. Try to get underneath it. Nothing. There's tiny ridges. So once you fucking nail these things in there, they do not want to come out.
Then we
all right. Where is
same lower frame. What this one is missing is we don't have the extended mag well.
Sand that down. Hold on.
Extended slide piece. But it is still optics ready. It has the X-ray sights. It does not have the comp, but it has the 3.7 inch barrel. Front and rear slide serrations, same module. It has the interchangeable back straps, same trigger, and it will accommodate that extended mag well. So if you like that of the tac ops, that's something you can always put on this gun later. And what's nice about this one is if you want a manual safety.
I gotta go try one because those look different than I remember. I remember it being tiny.
By the way, this one comes with 2 17-round mags. So you may be asking yourself, we go from
$800 too. That's fucking ridiculous. Maybe I need to get something different. I can't keep buying the same ones. Maybe it's 800 because it has a sight on it. I don't need the sight. I just need the pistol.
It's an election story you will only see here on News Nation. We're the only network covering it. The town board approved a deal for a massive battery plant that would have brought thousands of jobs and tens of millions of dollars in investment. The town board approved the deal, which didn't set well with the town folk. They didn't like the company's ties to the Communist Chinese Party. News Nation's Brian Enton has been following this story from the very beginning. What amazes me, Brian, the governor wouldn't stand up to the Chinese, the state legislature wouldn't stand up to the Chinese, the town board wouldn't stand up to the Chinese, but the citizens did.
Yeah, Leland, everybody sort of laughed at these citizens, these regular American people for the last 6 months to a year, and they ended up winning. They ousted their entire local government. We're in the town hall right now, Leland. It's kind of bizarre because it's all empty. Everybody packed up that was elected and left last night. You see the treasurer's office is empty. There's going to be someone new that moves in, the clerk. She's been here today going through all the boxes and papers, the new clerk. They're trying to figure out what to do in here. It's a very, very strange situation. There's sort of papers all over the place. You wonder what this would be like if it happened at the state or national level. We talked to one of the new board members about what's going on here. The entire local government was ousted here last night. New board, including you, put in. What do you say to Americans in other parts of the country who are watching this thinking, gosh, you know, I want to get rid of my elected people. They're not doing a good job. I mean, what's the message?
No, great.
Oh, there's 4.
Message.
I'm looking at Home Depot stuff.
Process works. If the American people get involved and will go through the right steps.
Because I need to get some black pipe. I almost did that one, that laugh. There's an Asian guy. I don't know. He's fucking annoying. Every time I see him, I just fucking turn it.
Whole new local government here in this rural part of the they want to this Chinese-owned, this Chinese-affiliated company from coming to their town.
Well, Brian, I would also add that it works when journalists show up like you. You've covered this story from the very beginning. You fought for it. There's not a lot of national correspondents who say, hey, I want to be in Green Township, Michigan on election night. You did because of your reporting on this. Real quick, what's their chance to actually stop the Chinese?
I had all these pipes custom cut because I made tables. A table, two tables. And I wanted specific heights, so I just bought regular black pipe and had it cut at one of the Home Depots down in Texas. And some guy bought my table because he liked it. And good. That's a good reason to buy it. And then I use the money off that to make this table and then buy clear epoxy and put it on top. I love it. It's super heavy duty. Somebody told me you could build a car engine, a truck engine on it. It's way over engineered, but I like it because it's fucking solid instead of that particle wood bullshit.
To build this plant. Brian, thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find
that's what we ought to do. We ought to kick our government out and put new people in. Because they're corrupt motherfuckers. Corrupt. I'm loving it. Oh, I gotta check to see if, see, my mind's all over the place. It's so hard to be me. And I passed it down to my son, which is shitty for him. Day show. But not. Feel me, hands up if you follow the rest. Yeah. Push it some more. Done made of stone. Let's do 300. It's on me. Welcome in this place. I wonder if it's going to transition the same as it does through my headphones. Let's just go fucking tits to the wall and see what happens. Go 5. And it's taking forever. Carry me home. Stone. My ignorance. I'll listen to it later. Right now it's at 500 milliseconds. But I can't tell because the music's going directly from the computer to my ear instead of going through the process, blah, 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 and sending it to you. So I can't tell if it's synced up or not. I hate it when I sing. Not that I sing, but that when I sing and I listen back to it and I'm totally off. I'm down on my knees. Now I'm wanting to go home. Tables have turned. It's so lonely. Too much shit. I got too much stuff, man. Get it off the table. It's gonna be little by little. What are you, Mario? This place I got just today. Hey, man. Yeah, I'm not welcome in this place. Hey, man. I'm not welcome in this place. You wish you could help me, help me. I was dead. All the things you went through me. So do they make 18 inches? 16-inch. That might work. Just have to move it in a little bit. Because it was 16 and a half. I gotta take my little... Help me, but you wish I was dead. That one's gonna be expensive. Come on, fucker, cooperate. Bitch, I'm gonna fucking melt you down. 7-7. The fucking guy. Clear this crap off. So I can move it again, and move it again, and move it again, and move it again. Oh, I hate this part because my brain, I know I want to do something, but my brain's just like, nope, 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 no. What if that doesn't work? What if that doesn't work? You don't know if it's not going to fucking, I mean, you don't know if it's going to work or not until you fucking do it. So just do it. You know what helps me? I used to drink a lot when I was younger. And when I drank, I could fucking do everything because I didn't give a shit. But my current brain, without any alcohol or drugs, it's like, nope, nope, no. So shit never gets done. So I gotta go, not drink, don't drink anymore. Go loosen up. And then my brain will be like, yeah, okay, let's do it. Pot talk with Stoner. You're so fucking stupid. So I could do 2 of those. Burp. Add to cart. What if they have slightly bigger ones? I can always move it in. Stop overthinking it, stupid. 36, 14, 30. I want you to leave. Oh, I gotta move that over so I can see where I can place the middle one. Once you leave. I need another table, man. So this was my old press table. I put my heat press on it. But now I'm just going to put it right next to the vacuum table because I'm going to double the vacuum table as my pressing table too. So it'll be my pressing and vacuum table. Just try to keep it all condensed into one instead of having it all kind of woo. That's just going to be like my knick-knack table next to me so I can put shit right there. Maybe drinks so that way I don't have to worry about spilling them on the table. I could do that just to block my kid from coming in here. Speaking of, I need to check on them. I'll be right back. I'm doing my videos though, so you have to have clothes on if you come out. No, no, that I want you to believe.
The year is 2034. In a jealous rage, Tim the Tatman steals Dr. Disrespect's multi-billion-dollar arena, changes his name to Dr. T, and banishes the dog to Planet Blonde Bang Pigeon Toe.
Hey!
Determined to stop Tim the Tatman,
I want you to leave.
dog sets out stranded on Planet Blonde.
No, no.
Befriends fellow outcast Dave Shell, and together they build a rocket ship. A
I
rocket,
bet they built a rocket ship together.
however, him to get back home as soon as possible.
That was a dick joke if you didn't get it.
If he doesn't make it back in time for Baby Assassin's high school graduation, Mrs. Assassin's gonna kick his ass. This is the story of how Dr. Disrespect finds his way back home. This is the return of the dog. The dog.
Dress. Here, Rachel. God damn it. Everyone's all fucked up. There's no flow to this anymore. Alone outside. What? Fucking video. Son of a bitch. They shall let it go. Mix. Mix. Eh. Eh.
Make a way to the top. Remind you in case you forgot. The how we go, the shadows for sure. You gotta see that they were not. Not if you bring hands up if you fight like the rest.
Got shit everywhere. I hate it. Another thing I'm trying to accomplish with this is keeping all the dusty stuff away from me. I think I'm gonna put like a sheet of plastic right there to keep the dust in that area. I definitely want to keep it away from the heat press and everything I'm working with, so it's another reason why I'm moving it. Down on my knee. Home. I'll fix that later. That's good. Let's try that. I wonder if I could do just one. No, because that'd be fucking expensive. How much is it gonna cost? I don't care about the inside diameter. Outside diameter. Product length. Let's see how long you make it. $36, $48. Can't say you're relatable, 'cause your face is off in the worst part is freaking. Get on me. You put the words right in your mouth. No. They're okay. Kiss goodbye to pass the time.
I'm over it. Don't say I'm sweet. Don't take me for a dream. Laugh at me, laugh and say goodnight to life. I hope he watches over you. I hope he loves the way you want him to. Watches over you, letting go. I hope he loves the way you want him to. Can you see my weakness and speechless? I will take the fall. Letting go. I hope he loves the way you want him to.
Inches. 48 is 4 foot. I can move them in a little bit. I got 4 foot ones right there, but that's not 4 foot right there. That would be at 48. It's not 4 feet. It's less than 4 feet. Here goes my stupid brain over analyzing everything. Ooh, 40, right, 42. Ha ha. Fade away. Fatal ways. Trust. Crack the line. Name from me. 48. Have to move that over 4 inches, and then this one would come down to. There's that one. 4 inches, that was 42, so that would make it 36. That would work perfect with that. Bam! I can't believe $21 for that. What did I think here? What was I thinking? 16. I don't necessarily need the light over that. More so over there. Actually, I don't really fucking need a light there. But I like it lit up. It helps. I think all that shit's gonna go on that table. I'm just leaving it for now. I gotta go pee. Sorry about that. When my ear things go together, it shuts it down. Dun, dun, dun. Wrong man, wrong man. Get out of here. Coming high. I'm trying to use as much stuff that I have in here because I've got a lot of crap in here that I bought over the years, so I don't have to buy anything else. Go that way. Coming high. Everything's coming down. I'm going to put a shelf all the way across. 2 shelves. So all that's going to come down, put up the paneling. Done, right? There's no purpose. Well, I mean, it had a purpose, but... You just turn the blade. You gotta reach in there. You barely turn it, it'll go down. We have to buy new garbage disposals. Somebody washed their shoes and it got rocks in it.
Mom.
Turn it up since there's so much light. Oh, speaking of which. I like these short videos. YouTube videos, unless it's like instruction or something, are just too fucking long. Get in, get out.
On it, Tony, and then look at today's date and tell me if no one else said anything.
You're gonna have to watch it again.
And today, okay, Tony?
Why is the volume so low?
Throw the $20 right back in your face. This is where I'm at.
Let me redo it.
This is where I'm at.
Regular video. Volume all the way up.
Welcome back to PC Builder.
It is all the way
I'm
up. I guess
Jason.
his volume was just low. Shit. I just didn't lose it. Cool. Spot the cop. He's over here in the shadows. What? Oh, that bear would tear him apart. Burk.
Tell me what to order. I'll order it.
Still low in my ears.
Okay. I'll try
It'll blow your mind out of
Okay.
your skull.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last time you were here, you convinced me to buy a Tesla. I bought it, and it's insane.
Oh, great. Glad you liked it.
Ah, man.
Pretty fun.
I don't. It's not just pretty fun. It's like, the way I've described it is, it makes other cars seem stupid. Like when I want to go somewhere in the Model S, I hit the gas and it just goes whee.
Yeah, yeah.
It like violates time.
Yeah, you've tried it like Ludicrous Plus and stuff
Oh
like that.
yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Tell me what to order. I'll order it.
Model SP 100D.
Okay. I'll try.
It'll blow your mind out of
Okay.
your skull.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last time you were here, you convinced me to buy a Tesla. I bought it, and it's insane.
Oh, great. Glad you liked it.
Ah, man.
Pretty fun.
I don't. It's not just pretty fun. It's like the way I've
The only part I don't like about these shorts is when I'm, if I stay on top of it, I'm going back and forth.
Wonder what kind of nightmare I'm gonna have today. I already did fire guard. But the sergeant major's grass. Fuck you! Fuck off, motherfucker! Coast Guard's not even a branch. I'm not signing another.
That guy sits on the subway by himself. No, like.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, but there's no obvious outward displays of wealth from him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's insanely wealthy.
Yeah.
But when you see him, he's dressed like me.
Yeah.
He's got like a regular watch on and sneakers. He's normal. It's real weird. And people freak out. They're like, is that? No, can't be. Like, people ignore him because he's figured out a way to just sort of
disappear
blend
in plain sight.
And then even if you talk to him, he's just normal. Like everybody that I know that's met him has said the dude's like totally, look at it. He lets his chick sit down, you know? He said, do you want to sit down? Go ahead, boom. And he just stands up. Look at, I mean, even the way he's not, no bodyguard. That's some over the top fame. He hit that Johnny Depp, Tom Cruise level of fame and then just became this super chill, mellow guy that can just like go through crowds. That guy sits on the subway by himself. No, like.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, but there's no obvious outward displays of wealth from him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's insanely wealthy.
Yeah.
But when you see him, he's dressed like me.
Yeah.
He's got like a regular watch on and sneakers. He's normal. It's real weird. And people freak out. They're like, is that? No, can't be. Like, people ignore him because he's figured out a way to just sort of
disappear
blend
in plain sight.
Thank you, Tony, for the $20 donation. There's a song in your honor by the band Dayshell on Spotify. It's called The Return of the Doc. Think you'll like it. Thank you, Tony, for the $20 donation. When was the date on it, Tony? And then look at today's date and tell me if no one else said anything between when it launched and today. Okay, Tony? Right? I almost want to throw the $20 right back in your face. This is where I'm at! This is where I'm at! Tony, I'm going to keep that $20 donation. Gas prices, sky high. And when you drive a V12 722 horsepower Lamborghini Diablo VT, trust me, I'm going to need a little bit more cash in the back pocket. Thank you, Tony, for the $20 donation. There's a song in your honor by the band Dayshell on Spotify. It's called The Return of the Doc. Think you'll like it. Thank you, Tony, for the $20 donation. When was the date on it, Tony? And then look at today's date and tell me if no one else said anything between when it launched and today. Okay, Tony? Right? I almost want to throw the $20 right back in your face. This is where I'm at! This is where I'm at! Tony, I'm going to keep that $20 donation. Gas prices, sky high. And when you drive a V12 722 horsepower Lamborghini Diablo VT, trust me, I'm going to need a little bit more cash in the back pocket. Thank you, Tony, for the $20 donation. There's a song in your honor by the band Dayshell on Spotify. It's called The Return of the Doc. Think you'll like it. Thank you, Tony, for the
Like I said, I like the short videos, but when I have to keep putting new ones on, it sucks balls.
Throughout history, there have been creatures that have been sea monster. Allow me to ask you this very important question right off the bat. What is more feared than the unknown? After all, isn't that one of the things that keeps us rooted in our routines and not exploring the wide world that's out there? And when it comes to the depths of the oceans, we don't know everything that's out there, and thus, it makes some fearful of what might lie deep within its depths. A great example of this is the bloop sea monster that many wonder about after a mysterious sound was captured by scientists. The bloop is a noise with an ultra-low frequency that was recorded in 1997 in the middle of the Pacific Ocean by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Some people say that it was an unknown sea creature, while others say the sound had been caused by an iceberg that was splitting from Antarctica. An important part of this sound is that it was recorded both above and below the water's surface, which immediately shows that it's not a known creature, as animals like whales do make sounds underwater, but they're typically not heard from the surface unless the whales themselves are up there. As noted, the first sound from the bloop would be recorded in 1997, and then it popped up once again in 2012. So it might have taken 15 years, but we did hear it twice, which means that it was more than just a one-off event. So, is it a sea creature that's making this noise? That is the mystery that many people want to figure out, and it's not an easy thing to do if not obvious. There are many who maintain that it's just an ice shelf breaking off or something of the like, but others are not so convinced that that's the case. If there is something out there that has made this sound, and it can project it over 5,000 kilometers away, then it's something that could very well make the Megalodon look tame. Or it could even be Cthulhu, and if that's the case, then we're all screwed.
Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now, or this centipede will crawl on your face when you're sleeping.
Number 19. Deep sea anglerfish. When it comes to scariness, size honestly doesn't always matter. Yes, plenty of giant creatures are scary, but there are some small ones out there that are terrifying in all the ways that matter. Case in point, you might fear a shark when you're in the water, but you're always looking out for things like bees and hornets because you don't want to get stung. In the depths of the ocean, as in the Mariana Trench, there resides a small but scary-looking creature known as the deep sea anglerfish, and it's the stuff of nightmares. So much so that Disney even used this creature in Finding Nemo to scare the junk out of its main characters and the audience that was watching. Happy feeling gone. In terms of size, it's only 18 centimeters long at most, and you'll likely never see one on the surface because it lives over 2,000 meters below sea level. That's actually to its advantage though, given its hunting style. It lives so deep within the ocean that sunlight can't reach the area, and due to that, animals have come up with their own ways of surviving without light or creating their own. In the case of the deep sea anglerfish, it has a protrusion on its head that can emit a bulb of light, since fish at that depth don't see the light all that often, and they're naturally drawn to it as they'll focus on that light, and the deep sea anglerfish comes up close and then devours them with its long teeth. But that's not even the most scary part of it all. The deep sea anglerfish that you'll see 99 out of 100 times are the females because they're the bigger gender. The males, by comparison, are tiny, and when they want to mate with a female, they'll basically fuse together. Yeah, that's even more terrifying than any shark in the ocean. Number 18. The frilled shark. Now, there will be a shark or two on this list simply because while the megalodon was the most feared thing in the depth during its day, that's not to say that the sharks of the modern day aren't to be feared as well. And when it comes to the frilled shark, it's scary simply because it doesn't look like any shark that you would recognize. They're what are known as a living fossil because their species have existed for millions of years and they haven't really evolved that much, which, if you think about it, is kind of a contradiction because you would expect a creature to move on in some ways and grow to better adapt to their surroundings. But with the frilled shark, it's not the case. And because of this, they look more like an eel than they do a shark. I mean, seriously, look at their leathery bodies and how they don't have a fin on their tops, like every shark species that you know. Furthermore, when it comes to swimming, they do so in an eel-like fashion and not like any other sharks. When it comes to hunting, they're as scary as a shark should be. They're active predators and may lunge at potential prey, swallowing it whole, even if it is quite large. And that's why they're going to want to end things in one shot, and it means plenty of prey are on its list. Going back to the first entry, there's a lot of fear of the unknown with the frilled shark because it lives at such a depth that it's rarely ever filmed, and thus hardly ever studied. To that end, nobody honestly knows their ecology, their population numbers, and more. It might be better that way though, because it also means we won't be learning much about them soon. Number 17. The fang-toothed fish. Sometimes it's not about the size of the creature, but the size of their terrifying teeth that dig into their prey. Enter the fang-toothed fish. The fangtooth gets its name from its rather impressive-looking teeth, which are actually the largest teeth of any fish in the ocean when taken in proportion to their body size. That also means it has teeth that are ready to carve things up, and it knows it. The irony, though, is that they're rather small fish, measuring in at only about 16 centimeters. So they're not a big threat to humans, but you really shouldn't let them bite you. Plus, it's also scary that they can be found basically all over the world, in both shallow and deep waters, depending on the situation. They can be found anywhere from about 200 meters below the surface to over 5,000 meters below. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is called range. Number 16. Giant squid. Now, there are plenty of monsters in the depths that have gotten people spooked over the generations, and you could argue that the giant squid is one of the most legendary of them all in the deep, simply because of how many stories they've crafted. Easily, the scariest part about them would be their size. They can be at least 13 meters long, and I say at least because that's the largest one that scientists have been able to personally measure. There are many who would speculate that they can actually grow many meters taller, and because they live in the depths, it's not easy to get one to the surface to check out. Many of those giant squids that have been found is simply because they've washed up on the beach, which no doubt has terrified many people when it's occurred. And when you hear how great they are at hunting, it may well give you the chills. Giant squid can snatch prey up of about 10 meters away simply by shooting out 2 feeding tentacles, which are tipped with hundreds of powerful sharp-toothed suckers. These feeding tentacles are quite long, often doubling the total length of the giant squid on their own. And once that prey is ensnarled in the tentacles, they're slowly drawn towards the beak, where their final resting place lies. And trust me, if you do get close enough to a giant squid to see its beak, you are more than likely in trouble and already dead. Just as scary, though, are the legends about them. This is one of those creatures that has inspired the legend of the Kraken, because sailors feared that these tentacled beasts would rise up from the depths and sink their boats without any issue. To an extent, they could sink a small boat, but probably not one that's made out of metal. Then again, nobody can say for certain that the Kraken doesn't exist, now can they? Number 15. Deep sea dragonfish. Now here's another creature that is incredibly deadly and yet also incredibly small. It's the deep sea dragonfish, and they can be about 26 meters at times, but can also be around 15, and yet when you look at them up close, you cannot deny that they're freaky looking and that you don't want them nibbling on you. What may be the scariest thing about them, though, is the barrel that they have by their mouth. The tip of this barrel can be illuminated through a chemical process known as bioluminescence. This is dangled right in front of their mouth, and as soon as a poor, unsuspecting creature comes too close, that's when the attack is launched, and the victim is then devoured. So much like the anglerfish, they will use light and darkness in combination in order to get their food. It is a rather vicious and scary process. Number 14. The stonefish. What does it mean to be scary? Well, to many, it's having an intimidating appearance that can chill you to the bone. But another thing that can make an entity scary is that simply touching them can spell some doom for you. Now, there are many venomous creatures in the deep that are scary, but few are as lethal as the stonefish. The stonefish is the most venomous fish in all of the ocean, and many people have died after becoming stung by one. That's not an exaggeration either. For example, in Australia, there are almost 1,000 stings reported by the stonefish every single year. And if you think about it, it means that there could be almost 1,000 victims of this single fish, and all it has to do is sting them to cause it. Before you go panicking though, there is an antivenom for the stonefish, but that doesn't make it any less terrifying. Here's where we have a bit of the good news, bad news scenario. The good news is that the stonefish does not seek out humans to attack them. In fact, they're ambush predators, preferring to let the prey come to them. The bad news, though, is that they're masters of camouflage, which also means that a stonefish could be right near you, and you would never know it until it was possibly too late. So even if you do think that you've been stung by the fish, you're going to need to get out of the water and seek treatment, because you'll know you're in trouble when your body begins screaming in pain. The venom is so strong that it can literally stop your heart. And one of the ironies of the stonefish is that, not unlike the pufferfish, there are some nations that actually like to eat the fish. They simply cook the venom out of it and dine like there's nothing wrong. This is why I fear for humanity at times. Number 13. Deep sea hatchetfish. You're going to notice that a lot of these creatures have deep sea in their names. Furthermore, some of these fish do have a great range, so that name could be a misnomer at times. Regardless, this is one freaky fish because of how it uses light. And no, it doesn't use it to lure fish to them so that they can be eaten. It's quite the opposite, actually. They use a skill called counter-illumination. Essentially, their organs will emit that light to shield them from view by predators below. If you think of it like this, just imagine that you were above someone, and you could shine a light down on them to make it look, from their perspective, that they were looking up at the sky above you instead. You'd be invisible to their sight, and that's what the hatchetfish does. How did it learn such a useful skill? Well, I simply choose not to ask such questions. Number 12. Atlantic wolffish. Atlantic wolffish are a special fish because they're named after wolves, and wolves are amazing. But seriously, people looked at the teeth of this aquatic creature, and that's when they realized that it had a kind of wolf's scowl, and thus they named it the wolffish. In spite of their slightly ferocious appearance and large teeth, the Atlantic wolffish is not aggressive. They feed on slow-moving or sedentary prey, such as sea urchins, crabs, mollusks, and large snails. And so what makes the fish scary? Well, it's all about how you survive in these waters. The wolffish is so adaptable that it can actually survive in 0 degrees Celsius. They have literal antifreeze in their blood, which helps them to survive the cold. Now, there are actually many fish species that have that special ability, which just goes to show you how evolution can help a fish to survive in a region that you would think they would instantly die in. Number 11. Barrel eye fish. Now, as I noted before, there are many different definitions of scary that could get creatures onto this list. But when it comes to the barrel eye fish, they have an evolutionary adaptation that makes them arguably weirder than just about any fish out there. But how so? Well, the fact becomes most obvious through the viewing of these fish's heads. I mean, the upper part of their heads are transparent, and through that, the fish almost always has its eyes facing upwards so that it can see the shadows of its prey or predators and react accordingly. It can also apparently move its eyes forward, which makes it even more freakier. And this is one of those fishes where you can't help but ask, how did it evolve to be like this? Nobody honestly knows, but it clearly works for them, given that they keep this ability through each cycle of their life. Number 10. The goblin shark. We now return to the shark part of the ocean, where we talk about one of the most horrifying things ever conceived. Yes, I know I could say that about many of the creatures on this list, but trust me, when it comes to the goblin shark, it very well deserves it. First, just look at the freaky thing. Does it look like a creature that you'd really want to mess with? Secondly, it's a rather long shark on average, as it can be 3 to 4 meters in length, which is more than enough to size up a human should they ever meet in the depths. And while they do live in the Mariana Trench at times, they've also been seen in as little as 100 meters below sea level. So you should be careful out there. But if I'm going to talk about why the thing is so scary compared to the megalodon, well, that's when you have to talk about its feeding habits. When it has prey that it wants to eat, it doesn't simply just bite the fish as you would expect. Oh no, that would be much too simple. Instead, it actually extends its mouth outside of its body and grabs the food that way. Yes, just like a xenomorph. Perhaps you understand how freaky that is. This tactic alone raises so many questions that just has to make you wonder what other depraved creatures have this kind of monstrous ability. Because even the megalodon didn't have a need for such a feature. It just simply ate everything in sight and then called it a day. And when you have to act like an alien just to get a bite to eat, well, you're freaky, and I don't want to talk about you anymore. Number 9. The gulper eel. When you first see a gulper eel, you may not be all that impressed. They look like any other eel. They're only about 1 meter in length at max, and they don't appear to have any kind of special features that could help them to stand out from the rest of the aquatic world. But once you get to their mouth, that's when you're going to notice very quickly how they get their name. Because when they want to eat, they're not exactly afraid to expand their mouths to a massive proportion that frankly will boggle your mind. In this footage of a gulper eel in action, you'll see that it almost looks like a balloon as it eats. They basically just fill up their mouths with water for the extra size, and then they'll use that extra girth to swallow their prey whole. So, in a way, they're kind of like pelicans. Weird and long and black-colored deep-sea pelicans. Ugh. Number 8. The vampire squid. Now, if you thought that the giant squid would be the only one to make this list, well, you would be wrong, because now I'm going to show you a terrifying squid that also has the ability to suck your blood while you roam the depths. No, not really, but that'd be terrifying if it were true. The real reason that it's called the vampire squid, and why it's scary, is that because when you look at it from the outside, it may look like a simple squid with unique skin around its tentacles. But when you look on its inside of the bottom part, you're going to notice that those tentacles have spines that it uses to grab its prey. Cute on the outside, deadly on the inside, and the ultimate predator trick. Number 7. The sarcastic fringe head. When you're in the depths, and you know that a predator is coming at you, you only have a few options to escape with your life. You can either attack them and hope that you beat them back, you can flee and hope that you get away, or you can intimidate them and make them think that you're a whole lot more dangerous than you actually are. The last option is the trademark of the sarcastic fringe head. This fish is not unlike a certain lizard on the surface that looks small when you see it from afar, but then when they get aggressive, they'll open up their mouths and expand their necks to try and have a bigger appearance. When two fringe heads have a territorial battle, they wrestle by pressing their distended mouths against each other. They press against each other until one of them is able to bite the other's head. Wow, what a whole lot of fun that is. Number 6. The lion's mane jellyfish. Now, it's actually a little surprising that I haven't talked about a jellyfish before now, because there are plenty of them in the ocean that would fall under the banner of scarier than the megalodon, simply because of their sting. And when it comes to the lion's mane jellyfish, there's a whole lot more than its sting that you'll have to worry about. You see, this jellyfish has a length of over 40 meters, and I mean that as just the tentacles are 40 meters long. It also means you're going to need to include the body in the rest of the measurement. Perhaps you'll understand how big that is. It means that as you're swimming through the water, you could collide with its tentacles, and then the body of the jellyfish would be a long ways away, not even realizing that you were even in its range. But don't worry, even if you are stung by this jellyfish, it is not exactly deadly, but it will hurt a whole lot. Using the powerful sting of its tentacles, the lion's mane jellyfish catches small fishes, tiny crustaceans, and even other jellyfish in order to satisfy its diet. Oh, and here's another scary fact for you. The tentacles of the lion's mane jellyfish can still sting you even after they've detached from the body, and even when the jellyfish is dead. In fact, it's said that a single lion's mane jellyfish can sting up to 50 people in one day, despite the jellyfish's body being found dead later on. They just love to sting you, even if they don't mean to. Number 5. Headless Chicken Monster. There are so many jokes that I could make here, but I'm getting close to the end and I'm not exactly going to do that. No, I'm not scared to make the jokes. Don't call me chicken. The Headless Chicken Monster is a deep-sea swimming cucumber, I know, that looks like a decapitated chicken, hence the name. Now, seriously, when you look at the thing, you may think that you're looking at a roaming piece of meat. But no, it's actually a living thing, for better or for worse. And another freaky thing about it, it doesn't have any bones, but it does have muscles, and it uses them to barely have the functions to keep itself alive. Sometimes you just have to wonder why things even exist in the first place. Number 4. The giant oarfish. Now, I've mentioned on this list that there are certain creatures of myth that people have learned to fear over time, but another common tale is people seeing a creature of the deep and thinking, well, that's not real. That's the story of the giant oarfish, a terrifying creature that was so monstrous in its appearance that when it was first brought to man's shores and shown to scientists, they actually thought that it was a hoax. On average, the giant oarfish has been found to be about 3 meters in length. However, the largest one ever caught and measured was more than around 12 meters, which is quite the difference. It is the largest of the bony fish, and it shows. Sadly though, it does not show itself all too often, and to that end, they like to live over 1,000 meters below sea level, which is why people don't really see them that much. It also makes it yet another creature that we don't know much about, because we don't know too much about its life cycle, how it works in the water, and more. We only seem to find out more about these creatures when they wash up on the beach, and that's when we get to study them. But not that scientists don't mind. They love to research these things and have even studied some juveniles in the lab. Because of how little is known about them though, they're yet another creature that could be more endangered than we may realize, and that's a scary thought in its own right. Number 3. The ocean sunfish. Do you ever look at a creature and say, is that from a movie? Only to be amazed that it's actually real? Well, the ocean sunfish is one such creature that a lot of divers have come up close and personal with and are blown away by the very real creature that it is. For example, it's a fish that is huge and yet is also incredibly thin. It's only about 3 meters long, weighing in at over 2,000 kilograms, and yet it has a tiny set of eyeballs and mouth that makes it look like a children's creation more than a natural creature of the ocean. It's known to travel the waters at a decent clip, and it's not afraid to pick up passengers, and by that, I mean parasites. Number 2. The Japanese spider crab. Crabs are not typically a creature that you would openly identify as being scary in the traditional sense. Yes, they can be scary when they grip onto you with their pinchers and threaten to rip your finger off, but plenty more think of them simply as the seafood they like to enjoy. However, if you want to look at a crab that many people think are scary, you only need to look at the Japanese spider crab. This crab is one that's much larger than many of those out there by a wide margin. They're so huge, in fact, that they can measure 4 meters from from the tip of one front claw to the other. That will dwarf any other crab by multiple factors. In fact, the first man who had caught this crab off the coast of Japan was so amazed by its size that he called it Crabzilla. Now yes, these creatures are not found in the Mariana Trench as they don't go below 550 meters, but they can also be right near the surface of the water, which is why they're seen on a regular basis in Japan. Sure, they may not be as terrifying as Megalodon in the traditional sense, but you do have to wonder how a crab goes from the more compact yet strong version that we often see on the beaches of the world, and then somehow becomes this behemoth in a
He was throwing gang signs. Hold on.
But they can also be right near the surface in the traditional sense, but you do have to wonder.
Right there, he's throwing gang signs.
Wonder how a crab goes to eels. When people think of eels, they tend to think of the electric variety that
See what this guy's. Oh, what was that?
We have so much.
Tofu disaster. Oh, that's China's problem. Sucks for the people.
Much to cover in this video, folks. This is Tony. Hope you're all doing well. Honestly, I don't know what to say, folks. We talked about not long ago. I think it was about a week ago. Yeah, a little over a week ago. We had this in Google Trends. Give back car started to really trend in Google searches. Guess what's trending now, folks? How about this? This is what I was talking about. Can't sell my home is now trending. Can't sell my house. So apparently, just like we were saying on the last month or so of videos, I've been talking about how I think there's going to be a rent strike, a mortgage strike, whatever you want to call it, coming up very soon here. And we were talking about how there's about 60 days. If you calculate how much money was in personal savings for the average consumer in America back in 2021, the cumulative, and you take the cumulative, I think it was last month, and you look at the amount it's gone down since between those 2 points, and you calculate when we're going to hit zero, it's going to be less than 60 days from now. So from 60 days from now, the total of all consumer savings is going to be literally zero in America. And of course, now we're starting to see these trends on Google for can't sell my home, give my car back, things like this. And this is just barely the beginning. We're going to be talking about a ton of stuff. I just wanted to talk about that right in the beginning of this video. We actually have a lot to go over, folks, in this video. And we have, for one, the great trucking recession. Expert details the impact of the great trucking recession will have on Americans. All the trucking companies right now are in dark, of course, times. We're referring to Yellow Truck, Convoy. Both of them went completely bankrupt. Convoy being Jeff Bezos' baby. All right, Jeff Bezos started Convoy. And of course, Yellow Truck was one of the biggest in America, went completely bankrupt. We're seeing a lot of these companies doing not very well right now. Trucking company owner explains why California's diesel ban by 2036 is not practical. America's trucking industry is in a dire state, which is bad news for the American economy because it serves as an indicator of the mood of consumers and their pocketbooks heading into the holiday season. And that's what I'm talking about, folks. I was seeing some stats that we're actually seeing shipments down. Shipments across the board with UPS, FedEx laying off workers. We have Maersk getting rid of 10,000 workers. They're a shipping cargo company. At a time when you would expect shipping to be through the roof. People sending out packages, pre-Christmas orders to themselves to get them ready to give us gifts. That's usually starting right around now. And at the same time, we're seeing all these companies having trouble. And of course, 60 days from now, everyone running out of money. It's not going to look very well for Christmas, as you can imagine. Christmas gifts if no one has any money left in their account.
So-
They're going to be racking it up on the credit cards with
I'm
loan
gonna
shark territory
I'm gonna lift it
APRs.
up. Just kind of grab a
January,
marker.
February are going to be unbelievable, folks. I'm telling you, we're going to see something big. It's going to be
Grab
something
a
we've never seen before
pencil.
in January,
Very
February,
sure.
and probably even December, honestly. I think, honestly, we're going to see it in December as well.
Oh, it fell out.
Used car market in turmoil, obviously, because they had such high prices before. Nobody wants
I just
them.
mark. Just set it down
prices
for now.
collapse, demand wanes. Well, that's not really surprising.
Rachel.
But we're seeing this
I know.
also with
Here,
new
just
vehicles.
leave it alone
as
for right
well.
now.
Tesla having to cut back on costs.
So I'm
and
gonna lift
prices.
this up and just mark
A lot
for the
of
bottom
companies
of it.
cutting back
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
Used cars, though, as well, are not doing well. It doesn't. I mean, it's not surprising because they had such huge price increases back not too long ago, and obviously nobody wants to go back to that.
Because I want it to go all the way.
Also, before we go any farther, I gotta mention food supply.
right here where it's hitting?
Link
Look
is in
where
the
it's hitting.
3 months worth for $7.97.
You gotta
2 weeks
push
worth
it
for
in.
$127. Link is in the description for that.
Get your hand up higher.
Also, of course, gold and silver. Link below. Huge discount on gold and silver
No,
right now,
just mark
folks.
the bottom
Check
of
the
this.
link in the description. You can see the prices are definitely down on silver right now.
All the way across.
Highly recommend you
All the
picking
way
it
from
up,
over there, all the way over
considering
here.
all that's going on, where the dollar's at. Link is in the description. Of course, also my website. I just updated it last night, very late last night. My goodness, it takes so long to update this website.
Mark on the
I put
wood
like
where
14 to 20 new videos up every week. Do you understand how much work that is? I mean, it is. It's actually a lot of work. It's more than I expected, you know. And I have a really good system. I got like everything all saved on a document. I can just easily copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. It still takes forever. 14 videos. I'm putting up a lot of my old videos. I have so many old videos that are so. I mean, honestly, I didn't think they would be that good, you know. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Old videos. A lot of people, like my wife, she doesn't even like watching movies that are 2 years old. I'm like, my wife's named Maria. I'm like, you want to watch this movie?
It's gonna
like
be
really
off
good, but
'cause
it's got
that
a high
thing-
rating. What year is it
It'll
from?
let it go
2021.
flat.
Oh, that's old. I don't want to watch it. I'm like, really? That's my wife, of course. But I mean, I have videos from 2014, 2016 here that are timeless, that show you. I was talking about this stuff 8 years ago, 10 years ago in some cases. Things that I talk about today that we're now seeing happen. Things that I said would happen.
I'm gonna put it down below. I guess. Hurts. Because I want this actually lower on the camera. Oh, I don't want. I don't care.
Oh, aren't you putting your desk over here?
No.
Oh,
Because I'd have to move all the electrical.
I thought you said that you were going to.
I was thinking about it.
10 years ago are happening now, and I'm literally
But
talking.
I'm not
about
going
it
to
back
now.
then, folks. At any
I
rate,
wanted to move the table here, and then have my back there, and then I could paint that green and have another green
I
screen.
just updated that
Like,
one last
have it
night.
facing this way?
Yeah.
And I
But
got.
then it's just taking up too much room. I'd have to walk around the desk instead of just
It's
turning
not
around.
exactly in order, okay? But I put them in order the way I think they should go. I have top stories, lots of really interesting stuff. I got podcasts, extended, hour and a half long podcasts going deep diving into topics, ancient history, just everything, science,
Somewhere right there.
all manner of stuff, even pterodactyls, folks. This is a picture from the Civil War era. There are multiple Civil War era pictures of them catching pterodactyls. I know it sounds impossible, sounds ridiculous. They're there. They're there. There's
Oh, you're
literally
streaming.
several photos.
But oh,
of,
you're streaming.
country dudes
Nobody watches
catching or taking.
My
out
friend has his
pterodactyls.
profile picture of you.
And they tell us that they were.
See, my friend has
they
his
were
profile
extinct
picture of you.
66 million years ago. Why are all these pictures on the internet? I don't know. It's a good
Your
question.
friend has my picture.
I go into a lot of things
Why?
like that,
I don't
folks.
know.
Link is in the description. For that.
But
So, let's
and
get
he
back
told
to the
me,
video. I mean, obviously,
did you
like
look
I
up
said,
like a Chinese or like?
I talk about everything. You know, I try to get into really
a
interesting
toaster that
topics,
made
folks, and deep dive into them.
Something.
I love talking about pretty much every topic out there.
Yeah,
It
that's
seems
definitely
like.
the Japanese.
Well,
Yeah.
not everything, but
Why?
obviously,
He
I like
told me
business. I
about
like what's going on with the economy, everything
You
like
just
that.
said
as well.
what you were looking up
U.S.
and what you
lenders are
said.
starting to go bankrupt. With new mortgages
Yeah,
down
they made it
47%.
look like a vagina.
Could this
Oh, he said it did.
trigger the worst?
Well, they in
billion
Japan,
since
somewhere over the
2008?
Asian countries,
I think so.
They have
real estate market.
everything's Dick's. Dick's ice cream,
really?
Dick toast.
I mean, you guys have
and
been
they
talking
had
about
a
like
form that
everything's
made a
fine,
dick
and now
shaped
we're
like
seeing that we were correct the whole entire
waffle.
time, folks. Now
But
we
the
can
one that I'm
add
trying to
bigger
find was it
financial
looked like a
troubles
vagina.
and rise
I
and
looked.
fall
I was
of
looking at
non-qualified
corn
mortgages. We
dog
got a lot of stuff to cover.
toasters.
In this
And
video,
that
folks, we
popped
got
up.
things like mysteriously
What does mom say?
glitches in banks, glitches in telecom.
Make sure Dylan gets a nap. We're
cyber
going to
attacks,
church tonight at 6 p.m.
And
Okay,
it makes you
please,
really
thank
wonder if there's more than just, it's just a weird coinky dink, you know? Right? How about this? What is that number? 174 billion in deposit flight hits U.S. banks in 3 months as S&P Global declares banking industry is gradually shrinking. Gradually shrinking? Really?
Need your help.
Okay. I mean, wasn't it like 400? I can't remember how much it was. The number just keeps growing. The number just keeps
Go
growing.
in there,
Numbers
there's
are
a bunch
shedding
of
light on the
screens.
multi-billion-dollar flow
Where?
of capital out of the U.S. banking system in a new report. And they're talking.
Yes.
They're going to do here what they did in Switzerland.
Screwdriver. Or
Or what they're
the
talking.
drill.
Actually, no, they're already talking about doing it in Switzerland. They're already trying to make laws about it. And they're trying to propose things like limiting how much money you can take out.
Okay.
Having some sort of exit fee,
We're gonna
probably some nice
kinda tack
sizable
this in
exit
place
fee
so it stays.
for you taking your money out of the bank to punish you for their mistakes.
No.
Punish you for
That's
their
way
mistakes,
too
folks.
long. Give a shorter one.
Their economic mistakes, of course. And I mean, that's how it's been.
Like
I mean,
this?
they tax us for what mistakes they make as well.
It's not
They
even
make
done.
us pay for their mistakes.
Look on the end. Make sure the
How
end
US
is working
banks
out.
can
'Cause some of
wiggle
they're all
out
mixed up.
of the 650 billion balance sheet hanging
Is this
over
good?
them.
Here.
U.S. banks are sitting on an estimated
Just come over
650
here and
billion
put
in
it, like, right
unrealized
here.
losses on their bond holdings. The surge in interest rates over the past 18 months drove bond prices lower, leading to bank failures earlier this year. And actually, you've had some. This is kind of funny. When was this written? Yeah, they're pretending like there hasn't been any recent ones. This is on the 11th. There's like 2 recent ones. They're acting like there hasn't been any since the beginning of this year. There was only like 2 or 3 in the beginning of this year, and we've already had 2 more within the last 2 weeks.
There you go.
Clearly,
Thank you.
You're not wanting to tell you that part.
I'll call you from time to time.
You got that. You got this here, folks. Chase and U.S. Bank customers say their accounts are being closed without warning. Customers, why is this not fitting the page? Customers reported difficulties with customer service when trying to figure out what had happened. And there's a guy here on YouTube, Neil, McCoy Ward here. He said he had 3 accounts. And this was like a year ago almost. Like 3 accounts closed. No, it wasn't even closed. They just disappeared. And he's talking to the bank like, oh, so what happened? Did somebody take the money? Did they just close the accounts? What happened? We don't know what happened. We don't know what happened to it. What do you mean you don't know what happened? I mean, you guys are the bank. Don't you know what goes on in your own bank? I mean, like, you don't know what's going on with your... We don't know where the money went. We don't know where the accounts are. They just are gone.
Rachel!
Really?
Come here.
Okay. Wow, that's kind of weird. Yeah, that was I think he lives in England. No, I think he
Change this so it plays. You can hear it. There's my videos. Why won't it show? There. It was a short one. Where would it be?
What are you looking for?
That one video to show you. Highlights.
Was that me?
Yeah.
3 years ago? Click it. I think I got less chubby. Did I?
You're still soft, but you're not. You're younger. You grow out of it. Oh, you know where it might be? YouTube.
Yeah, he said he saw it on YouTube. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Okay, that's long enough. I didn't sign into Apex. You know me. Right there. It's gotta be Japanese. Some kind of Asian country. Some Asian. It's gotta be Japanese. Some kind of Asian country. Some Asian country. Because I've seen something like that before on a video. They're in Asia somewhere. But anyway, I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. At least quickly. It was vagina.
It was vagina.
It was a kind of like a waffle vagina. A waffle. Anyway, it was hilarious.
You said anyway, and then he said
Yeah.
anyway.
Hold on. Did you see any of these?
I think I watched a few with you.
Yeah, did you see these?
Mm-mm. Oh yeah, you showed me this one. It'd have been funny if the music paused whenever.
What is up with these videos? Do I just need to get laid or what? That is clearly a vagina. And I bet you one of those people up there tried to fuck it at one point. That might have been the one. It's the same one before, but all right. He has his accounts in England, but he lives in some British, some island or something. I can't remember, Isle of Man or something like that. So maybe that's why he has some weird issues, is because he's banking in a separate country. Isn't Isle of Man another country? I don't even know, dude. I'm not a geographer here, folks. Yeah, he lives in Isle of Man, if I remember correctly, but he banks in England. So whatever, some weird law thing going on there. I don't know what's going on there, but he's having a lot of issues in that realm. And it makes you wonder, because we're now starting to see stuff like that here as well. While you may head to your local bank branch on occasion, banking on the go is easier than ever via your phone or laptop. You can oversee your account's transfer funds. Why are you telling me all this stuff? But although having funds at our fingertips is a luxury, blah, 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 Chase and U.S. Bank customers have tried to log into their accounts only to find out they were closed without their knowledge. Yeah, here's one of them right here. U.S. Bank closed his account, mailed money to someone. He said that basically they mistaken him to be deceased or something to that effect. And then that's when they closed his account, apparently. In May 2022, TikTok user Midwest Crisis 93 posted a video overlaid text that read, "When U.S. Bank closes your account without warning because of a late payment, and their only excuse is we sent letters out, but they got returned because they refused to update your address." So, oh yeah, okay. That sounds interesting. So it's not really good customer service. They're not fully paying attention. They're not doing their job right. They're not updating your address. They send out mail and it comes back to them, and they just, for some reason, close your account as a result of it. You know, kind of like, hey, you didn't respond to us, so you must not exist anymore or something. I don't know. I mean, it's just really ridiculous. And it could have a lot to do with the culture in these banks as well. I've seen a shift in business over the last 5-10 years where it used to be the customer's always first. Let's try to do our job right.
Now it's more like, I'm just here for, we're just here to do whatever, make money. We don't care. We're going to lay off workers. We don't need you. Let's replace you with AI. And what happened to this whole good business culture? It just disappeared. It disappeared in America. Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America branches are closing in October and November, one day ago, as bank customers move online, make fewer trips to the branches. Many financial institutions are closing locations. So this is what they want. They did this in Australia. They always start these things seemingly in places like Australia, I've noticed. And I saw Michael, Cowan talking about this as well in his recent video. The fact is, this is something they want. They want you to only be able to access money at an ATM. Then they can limit the ATM. Oh, you only can get 500 out a day now. When you need to get 20,000 bucks out or 10,000 bucks to buy something, like maybe you're a farm owner, whatever. You need to buy some equipment. You need some cash. They do that also with flying, limits on how much money you can carry with you and stuff like that. And of course, also we have our wonderful men in blue just stopping people and taking their money in some cases as well. Almost like they don't want you to have cash anymore, right? We've seen this in many different vectors of course, society these days. And so we're seeing more of that as well. And actually, I got a ton more to talk about. I mean, I'm barely getting into this, folks. We're already well into the video. Bank of America, Chase, and Wells Fargo crash. Systems down. Direct deposits fail. I wonder why. And this is what I'm kind of concerned about. If this is more than just simply a glitch. We had that bald guy from that certain forum. He looks kind of like, that Mini-Me. Was it Austin Powers? He looks like the villain from Austin Powers, folks. Not Mini-Me. The bald guy. What is that guy's not? Sorry, Mini-Me. I don't mean you. Is that Vern Troyer? Whatever his name is. No, Mike Myers. Wow, he's getting older. He was Austin Powers. Wow, that is an old movie now. I didn't realize it was that old. My goodness, I'm an old guy. So Austin Powers, man. I mean, we have the villain here. You remember the guy from the forum? He told us there would be cyber attacks, and now there are. Every time he says something that happens, it's so weird, and it's just coincidental. The weather's going to change, and then the weather changes. I've talked about on this channel. Cyber attacks. Oh, then there's cyber attacks. It's kind of weird how that keeps happening. Almost like there's more to it than just coincidence, right? What is that guy called anyways? I don't know. Austin Powers, whatever the bad guy's name is in the movie. It's been a few years since I've seen it. At any rate, so what else do we have here? Bug in Fed's payment system prevents Americans from getting paid. It's just so weird how it's always us that end up on the end of these glitches. It's just like, oh, we just couldn't pay you. It was just a glitch, of course. Banks stress customer accounts remain secure and balances will be updated as soon as the issue is resolved. Imagine if there are no banks except for the Fed, folks, which some are wondering is what they want to do potentially. I don't think that's probably what's going to happen. I think you're going to still have Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase, these guys around. You're going to have a lot of the smaller ones fall to the wayside. But I think you're going to have, strings attached, like strings attached to a lot of these banks. And of course, the guys at the top doing this, right? At any rate. So I'm thinking that's what's going to be sort of the case. But what if they just, we can't, there's a glitch. We can't pay you for some reason. Sorry. We're seeing a lot of that. The Federal Reserve said the bug was caused by a processing issue. Wow. In the automated clearinghouse, a payment processing network widely used by... Why is it only when everything is going south that these things happen? And employers to deposit wages into the bank's employee bank accounts. The ACH is operated by the Federal Reserve Banks and the electronic payment network. It is interesting how this seems to happen a lot more when they're running out of money. I don't know. Cyber attack disrupts Washington. Let's get rid of this advertisement. Come on, man. Website. Cyber attack disrupts Washington website services. Part of Washington Department of Transportation website has been down since Tuesday, following what officials describe as cybersecurity incident aimed at disrupting the flow of travel information. And so maybe some of this could be actually, well, I don't think they're coincidences, but could it be from other, of course, countries? And now there's been talks about that. I was thinking, maybe China, but actually no. Some are saying it could be Iran. That country has been doing this. Maybe there's something to that. I don't know. We've seen it also in Australia. I saw Michael, Cowan talking about this. The DP World Logistics cyber attack looks like sabotage by a foreign, of course, country. Yes, so this is what I was talking about. East versus West, folks. East versus West. And I'm not talking about the arm wrestling competitions of recent, but I watched that some. I know that has nothing to do with this, but East, of course, versus West. West being, Australia, which is not really in the West, but Australia, America, Canada, and England, and Europe versus China, Brazil, etc., BRICS nations. We have China, ICBC, the world's biggest bank, hit by cyber attack. Could that be from the West? Like the West, tit for tat. I don't know. It's kind of interesting, some of this stuff going on right now. We have this. The damage has already been done. 31-year market vet shares 3 pieces of evidence at the labor market. Oh, I got to pay money, folks. Let's read it. The labor market about to collapse. Okay, there we go. We got it all. Maybe there's someone else I can read. Someone
get noisy.
Let's see if these guys have it.
Noise.
Come on, man. Not really. That the labor market is about to collapse, sending the economy into a recession, stock market spiraling. Proven leading indicators show that the unemployment rate is likely to start rising materially soon. Yes, of course. Obviously. And it doesn't matter if they play their funny formula games. I think it's going to happen at this point no matter what. We saw it after Christmas last year. Right. Beginning of this year. We're going to see it even more so this time. Because remember, I was showing last December, how things didn't look right. We were having bunches of layoffs during Christmas. It's like, this is not a good sign for 2023. Now we're seeing it even more so. We're seeing shipping down. We're seeing cargo down. We're seeing across the board, everything. No one's shipping anything. No one's buying anything. We got people trying to give away their cars. Give my car back, right? Can't sell my house. Give my car back. Bro, just wait till December, January. It's going to be really, you're going to see what I'm talking about. It's going to be way worse than last time. Okay, and of course, like I said, there's a lot of these articles. You got this one here. If the economy's so great, why are tax revenues so weak? You got
smaller ones
as well. Tax revenues are down. People have been showing this. Bravo has been showing this graph. I think he just showed it in the last video. I actually had this prepared before he made his video, so I didn't get it from him. But you can see here, early 80s recessions, 2001, Great Recession, 2020, and now you got it again. So we got yet another, and this is the recession. It's there. It's already been here. Look, it's been a while. So they keep telling us we're almost in a recession. Like we're almost in a world, WAR. It's not going to happen, though. Right? So they say it isn't here, but it is here. They can just deny it all they like. Math is math. Economics is economics. It's not rocket science, bro. There it is, right there. Then, of course, we have Texas grid. Very interesting for the winter. We were talking about this in the last video a little bit with the power plants. They're talking about how the power grid isn't looking good for Texas. And actually, there's a huge sector of Canada as well on the graph that they were showing. And also part of the east of America as well. And I was kind of surprised I didn't see it with California, which is kind of weird. because they haven't had a new power plant built since 1985. But the Texas grid, North American Electric Reliability Corp said due to the lack of natural gas infrastructure. So this has to do with natural gas, which of course came from the Ruslands, which of course we sort of cut some of that off when we backed up, of course, Crane over in, Europe during that WAR. That's partially why maybe the natural gas is an issue. But obviously Texas is the Lone Star state. They have some of their own supplies, so it doesn't really fully explain what's going on here. I don't know what's going on here. As we inch closer to the winter months, a recent report from the North American Reliability said that more than half of the U.S. could fall short of electricity due to extreme cold again this winter. In past years, Texas Power Grid had issues holding up during peak winter months, reported that due to the lack of natural gas infrastructure, among other grid operators could fall short. So this is really, to me, this is really curious because, again, that bald guy from that one forum said this would be an issue too. You would have power grid issues, you would have weather issues. And of course, we've seen some rather bizarre weather in Texas over this year. So, and also across the east, just going in towards the west, we've seen a lot right into the center of America. We saw like 3 weather fronts that were massive right in a row during the year. And I covered it over my other channel. I don't know if I covered it over here, really. I think I covered it a little bit over here. But so we've seen a lot of bizarreness of recent this year. I guess you could say it's all coincidence, folks. It just seems to be really interesting how they tell us what's going to happen before it does. Like I pointed out an article some time ago how they were talking about one little section of the Bay Area of San Francisco is going to have extreme weather next year. I'm like, how would you even know that? One little section of the Bay Area of San Francisco. How would you know that? It makes no sense. Like literally, what are you talking about? Right? It's like picking the lotto number 6 months before. On the lotto pick in 6 months, it's going to be these numbers. It's like, how are you knowing that? It's like, what are you talking about, dude? So we're seeing weird articles like that. Oklahoma among states with the highest risk for power grid shortfalls this winter. So yet another state with power grid issues for the winter. And they're talking about multiple states having these problems coming, including a huge section of Canada. But at any rate, I mean, there's a few more things we're going to cover. I wanted to mention this really quick. I thought this was kind of funny. I saw this over on Bravo's channel. He was talking about this video from Jubilee, this channel Jubilee. Strangers rank their intelligence IQ versus first impressions. And it was really funny because they were all trying to say that this military guy who only went to high school has got to be the one with the lowest IQ. They were all saying this, and this girl was like really kind of like, oh, I got a PhD. I'm blah 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 blah. I'm a medical. I work for some medical company. Blah blah blah, and doing research. And in the end, she actually had the lower IQ, and he was like up here. I think he was like 131. This guy went to Harvard. He's like 135. And I think mine is around in the same range, actually, when I took an IQ test. It was around the same as his. But it's just funny. Like, they were putting him way down here, thinking he would be the lowest. It's just so funny. I've seen a lot of these Jubilees like that. I saw another one where they were all ranking on how they would be perceived as who is more pretty or whatever. And it was the same idea. Like, they put the one at the top that was like at the bottom or something. It was the exact same thing. So it just makes you wonder. People's perceptions could be very, very far off. As you can see here, she's got like a master's degree or PhD or something. I don't know. He just went to Harvard. This guy just went to high school. I mean, just went to Harvard. That sounds like, oh, he just went to Harvard. Yeah, Harvard's obviously a good school. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, this guy just went to high school and he's in the military. Can't be that smart, right? He ends up being one of the top guys. Obviously, it's kind of funny. At any rate, so there's that. I thought it was kind of funny. But we also have fewer than two in three Americans could afford a mere $400 expense with cash. See, that's where we're at, folks. And I mean, $400 don't buy you anything anymore. What does $400 buy you now? Like that's like you take out like your extended family to a restaurant, there's $400 right there, folks. You know what I mean? Like you take out a lot of people to a restaurant, like family reunion or something. I mean, or you can just go to a really nice restaurant with your family. It might end up being $400. I don't know. I don't go to restaurants like that. Like one of the most expensive ones in your city maybe will cost you something like that. But I don't know. Maybe in California it's really bad like that. I don't know. I haven't been to a restaurant in California. I haven't been to California other than an airport. That's about the only time I've ever been to California. But at any rate, so you get the idea. $400 is not very much. Most people can't even afford that, which is pretty unbelievable considering, you know, sort of the mortgage and rent rates in places like Washington and in California, like in the thousands a month, and then you can't even afford $400. So, and of course we have articles like this coming out saying we are this is from Politico, we're already in a wider WAR. Clearly, it's you and I pointing out the obvious, and while they tell us it's not true, it's like, you know, it's like very obvious. It might be a little bit complex math. We're like, okay, well, this is the calculation. Here's what it is. And they're telling you, no, it's not that. Everything's much better than you're saying. And then, of course, we end up being right. 3 months from now, they finally admit we're correct. At any rate, that's pretty much my video. I'm also going to be talking about some rather interesting things over my other two channels. I'm going to be talking about Kat Von D, her recent change in her life, and actually a lot of other things, a lot of famous celebrities. Lance Riddick, he, of course, is gone this year. Jerry Springer's gone this year. Lots of these people. This guy was in Law & Order. What was she in? Three's Company? I don't know if you remember her, Suzanne Summers. A lot of these people are gone this year, folks, including Matthew Perry from Friends. I'm going to be talking about a lot of that stuff and actually much more. Also the music industry and other things. Really bizarre stuff going on there, folks. I'm going to get into that and much more over my other channels. Kind of wonder what some of you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below. And thanks for watching. Sorry about that. It got kind of noisy in here. So I didn't catch any of that. That's not a computer. What is it?
Welcome to Micro Center, our wonderful sponsors.
Looks like Steve-O's responsible brother.
Hey guys, this is Jade. We're here at, I can't even do that with this.
Copyrighted infringement.
If you say I digress, I'm coming after you. Anyway, what's up guys? Hey, JC Sense here at the Micro Center in Indianapolis, Indiana. I know it looks a lot like our Tustin store we're used to, but Micro Center, our sponsor, who's flown myself and Austin out here for some fun shenanigans, has just opened a brand new store in Indianapolis. But you guys probably already know that if you're in the area. So anyway, we got some fun stuff planned for today. Let's go and talk about it. Get amazing prices on the brands you love at Micro Center. Micro Center has over 30,000 items in stock, including desktops, laptops, computer components, monitors, TVs, and more. Not sure which parts to choose for your next build? Then use Micro Center's custom PC builder to find compatible parts, create your parts list,
I don't want to use it, but I'm going to have to use my circular saw.
Nationwide. And if you're not comfortable building it, one of Micro Center's professional builders can build it for you as fast as same day for a fee. And if you need ideas for a build, then head to Micro Center's Build Showcase for great build inspiration, or submit your build for others to see. To see everything that Micro Center has to offer, click the link in the description below. So anyway, if you guys don't know what Micro Center is, it is literally like tech heaven. It doesn't matter if you're into computers or console gaming or sim racing or even Apple products, they have everything here in the store. We'll do a little tour if you guys have never seen one, but that's not the point of today's video. The point of today's video is Austin and I are gonna be going head to head to see who can build the better budget PC, $750 for the tower, and then we're gonna kind of put those head to head. So how are you feeling about this? I mean, I do PC all day, every day. You just kind of do it here and there, so.
No, but here's the thing. You're at a massive disadvantage. You're used to doing things the right way. I'm used to doing things the jank way.
I think my audience would say I'm pretty familiar with the jank.
Well, you know what? But your jank is still, look, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to win. That's just the bottom line.
I'm gonna have to change the way I approach this. I already know that. I already know the fact that you've been cheating and looking at parts and stuff, and I'm like, I'm doing this.
I was in the airport for 11 hours yesterday.
Not my
I
problem.
did nothing but spend all my time on microcenter.com.
I know how to book a flight. I got here on time. Okay, so enough of that. The short guy needs to go. Go back to your corner. We are gonna pick some parts and see what we can get to before this guy gets his greedy little hands on it. So they actually have a bunch of Apple products here. I think a lot of people think Micro Center is all PC and Android and stuff like that. No, they've got everything here. And you'll notice the reviews of the store really do look like exactly like the Tustin store. And that's because of the brand new stores and then the store remodels they've been doing are all this new modern kind of aesthetic. I love the way this all looks. See, the cool thing too is like every monitor they sell is out on display. So there's none of this like trying to check online to see like, oh, what are people saying about it? You can use your own eyeballs to at least see what they look like in their display mode. So they're here next to each other. You can kind of check out the different brightnesses and color saturations. Buying a monitor is hard when all you can do is look at it and see it powered on. It's a huge thing. Sick, they even sell coasters. 3D printing, I got that too. It's actually a really good print. I should hire whoever did this. Yep, TVs, they got them. Well, how the turn. Okay, all shenanigans aside, we're in the BYOC, which is build your own computer. I'm telling you right now, if you guys have ever tried to shop for PC parts, it is an absolute godsend to come to Micro Center. But I need to start actually thinking about this because I have a pesky little YouTuber to crush. $750, that's hard. That's hard because so there's the main components we gotta get. Computer case or something to put them in. I know Austin's gonna try cardboard box, that little asshole. CPU, so a case, CPU, motherboard, memory, storage, graphics. Yeah, so we got those 6 major components and I've got to fit $750 in there. And I've already talked about the fact many times, like the graphics card cost alone should not exceed or at least a third of the total cost of the budget. But my reputation and my honor is on the line, so we might break that rule a little today. For this price point, I'm gonna have to go AMD. I'm gonna have to probably go AM4. Hopefully they have enough AM4 stuff here. Typically in those lower price points, it's not hard to find a micro ATX board because that's where the manufacturer saves some money by making the board smaller. So 54, 64 bucks. Let's go look at main components to see if I can end up going with that $54 case. Oh, but the Cooler Master Maker Box 5000 Master Maker box is only 39 bucks and it's also micro ATX. See, here's my problem. I know for a fact Austin's gonna try and omit a case entirely from the budget and add that to the GPU budget. I don't want to do that. I want this to be like, sorry for the noise.
I'm gonna cut this board.
It's still ready to open, but I don't want to do that. This isn't Scrapyard Wars. This is just building a budget PC, and it needs to have a case because how would I feel if at the end of the day I'm like, I beat Austin. Here's your cardboard box full of parts to whoever's winning it, because we are giving these systems away. I don't know if I even mentioned that.
It'd be like 2 seconds into it.
Hey, buddy, I found a great deal. This is it makes your PC faster, and the RGB gives you extra points.
Everyone knows that, though. Are you just learning this?
Oh no! I'm sharing some.
It's like stickers on a car. We know the more the better. So don't get confused by the names. Some of the Intel and AMD names seem similar. It'd be very embarrassing if you had an Intel CPU and an AMD motherboard.
You can't put it in.
Oh, they can go together. It's just it's not gonna work. So we have an A520 motherboard here. There's nothing super special about it. It's 3rd gen Ryzen ready already because it'll work with all 5000 series
Is there anything outside?
CPUs.
Look outside.
Like,
See if anything needs to come
We're
in
talking now
this.
A5.
I know the barbecue's out there, but so what?
My biggest concern, like I've already said, is whether or not. Oh, 5,000 desktop ready. Okay.
If it gets red, it's gonna fuck.
That works. Does the Gigabyte one say that so I don't have to? Yeah, 5,000. I could have just looked at that at the start. There we go. We're good. So we only have two components so far. Storage, $29.99 for a 1 terabyte, 5,000 megabytes per second. There's probably better deals out there. If you guys aren't aware, Inland is actually Micro Center's in-house brand. So this isn't an ad or a baked-in ad. Just if you're worried about, because you don't recognize the name, because it's a Micro Center drive, you can get a serviced and warranted at any Micro Center. So I just wanted to point that out. Okay, so I have my first component, $79.99. It is a Micro ATX board. It's a B450 that has been updated for 5000 series. So this gives us a little bit more headroom. It's only, what, it's technically $10 more than that A520, but this is a better board in terms of features. So let's go around, spy on Austin real quick, and see what CPU we can throw in this guy. Actually, no, let's go to GPUs. I think realistically, most of this is going to hinge on the GPU, and I think at the price point that we're shopping, I think it's pretty obvious that we're going to have to go with AMD. But we do have a pretty good deal here at $229 for a 6650.
Pull that out.
We've got a Power Color Fighter 7600 for $269, which is not a bad deal. But I mean, remember how I said I like to stick to about 1/3 of my budget is GPU? $269 is quite a bit more than 1/3 of 750. So that's the challenge here. Like we have a 189 for 6600 Eagle, which would have been great, but as you can see, unless they somehow grabbed it, that I doubt he's gonna try and go higher than that. I know him. So I went with the RX 6650 XT Challenger, mostly because of the fact that it's the best price to, well, there's more expensive cards and I could have gone more jank if I wanted on the build to save money like I know Austin's gonna do. But the 6650 XT is a great bargain. $229, it's not bad. I would have loved to have maybe found like a 6600 non-50, if that makes sense, to save like even like 15, 20 bucks. But yeah, unfortunately, like I said, that generation's slowly disappearing. Is this right? G-Skill Ripjaws, 32 gigabytes, 2x16 gigabyte sticks, 3200 CL16 for $24. I'm worried, is the board gonna, it should recognize two 16 gig sticks. I'd love a 16 gig kit. Dude, oh, they do have a 16 gig kit for $17, but they're out of stock on that. You guys don't have any more of these $17 kits hanging out anywhere, do you?
We're gonna have to let you know and see how you do.
You only have one more, don't let them know.
Okay.
All right, so unfortunately they're out of stock on that $17 kit. Now, the reason why the prices are so low, these are grand opening deals. So if you're watching this video after the fact, obviously come down here before these deals end because the amount of off MSRP is absolutely ridiculous right now. I'm still getting 32 gigabytes, DDR4, CL16, 3200 megahertz for 25 bucks.
Yeah, so basically, every thread is one more FPS. So if you want to play like 60 FPS, you need a 60 core processor minimum. So this is actually 64. So you can play at a smooth 64 frames per second. It's only $7,000.
But my TV only goes to 60.
Well, you'll have a couple extras, you know, for future expansion.
In case a couple go bad.
You never know.
I'm not gonna keep this face. Dude, the in-store like deals right now are insane with the store opening sales. Anyway, this is a Ryzen 5 5500. Yeah, I'm aware that it's not like. $99.99, and it has a box cooler, so I could save the money because it's not overclocked. I don't need to put like a or anything on there. I can save the $30 cost. Now I'm starting to look like I could step up the GPU. Our benchmark. Two CPU components. So if you cheap out too far on the CPU and you lose there and you go really heavy on balance. Linus went all in on GPU and forgot about like overall CPU. I don't want to make the same mistake he does because we all learn through Linus's mistakes. This is my total so far. So I have a feeling we're going to be able to jump up a GPU tier and possibly even a CPU tier. $500 challenge?
Thank you.
I think I'm going to go with this guy right here. It's a partial modular 650 watt.
That's pretty good.
Within the amount of power that
for right now.
we're giving this away. Now, if the person upgrades it later, I wanted them to be able to upgrade their system, I have $230 available to me. If you guys are ever going in the store and you're trying to like, you have all your parts, build it in your cart. So there's your motherboard, there's your CPU, there's your RAM, right? There's your storage, there's your GPU, and there's your power supply. You can literally do this in the cart. I mean, I don't know if people have ever thought of this before, but there's your system. So I now know we can up this. Now, one of the things I feel like I should have done is there's a bonus component for every dollar under budget you come in. Maybe that's 1% for every dollar increase in your score. That would have been fun. Let's go run that by them real quick and see how they respond. Hey guys. Hey guys. How do you feel about making things more interesting?
No, it's interesting enough. I don't think we should change a thing. In fact, I would argue so far as to say that time has passed. But what was your idea?
For every dollar you come in under budget, you get a 1% increase in your score.
Wait, every dollar, so if I come in $100 under budget, I have then improved my score by 100%.
And the lower you go, the more higher it goes.
Shay, I just got my system done. That's gonna make me redo the whole thing.
Your system was done in San Francisco when you were sitting at like your 6-hour layover.
If we do that, then we're gonna literally just be like, who can go, like, it's gonna be like a game of chicken of who can build like the $500 system versus the 4 versus 3.
Right, but then you have to really count on, because you know how exponential the scores are.
I just did a lot of calculations on my system. I don't appreciate you making me redo it all right now with 40 minutes before the store opens. You really want to start from scratch here?
Who said anything about starting from scratch?
Okay, Jay. I get it. You got a compliment. I'm happy to oblige. I'm confident enough in my skills to completely redo everything in the next 40 minutes and win.
I feel like there should have been something on the line. Loser has to, I don't know, go outside and wave a Micro Center sign for a day.
No.
Could you imagine driving down the street? Is that Jay with a Micro Center sign?
Okay. Deal, my friend.
All right. I still have to change my parts though. Okay, so I referenced my my own spreadsheet from our benchmarks and stuff. What we've done some calculations here on. See, we need to now. Hi there.
Hi, I just kind of come check in. Did you know that there are NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel options here? There's a wide selection, and they're all great prices. I've heard that the 40 series NVIDIA, everyone loves those. You should buy one of those.
The cost of the value is insane.
It's literally off the charts. Don't ask what chart it is. It's off one of them.
Well, Steve's got 48 of those charts, so
well,
we'll
that's
just
great.
pick one.
Okay, cool. I don't mind me. I'm just wrapping my head around.
You just window shopping?
I just wondered, as I do. See you later. Good luck. Have fun.
These are not going to really be overclockable. You can hear every time he walks.
That's all I saw. And you didn't look very well. Where was it?
Right on top.
I didn't see it.
Like the squeaky. What is this? Now, we don't have any ray tracing in our benchmarks. We're just doing superposition and time spy non-extreme, and then we're doing Geekbench 6 and Cinebench R23 for our CPU score. We just checked our benchmarks. The 7600 is actually slightly outperforming in time spy the 4060. Now, if we had RT tests in this, which I kind of wish I'd thrown some in there now, I would have taken the RT advantage in the 4060, but now I'm taking the 20% additional performance uplift with the 7600. Prediction time, I have a feeling that he went with possibly an Intel Arc card. I really do. And the thing is, I do not really know how Intel's ARC performs at like superposition, and I know when it came to like a lot of our benchmarks in terms of synthetics, some that performed really well, like it did well in time spy and stuff. We should check that. do you have your phone, Phil? So I just asked them if I open it and close it again, can we open box discount it? I'm not kidding. $199 now, right?
Sir.
Yes! Oh, I should be careful with that.
Oh my.
See, Micro Center loves me. So I just spent 3 days hanging out with Linus and crew at LTX, and I would not have thought about literally just being like, can we do this? Because Linus has no shame, period. I'm gonna start asking more often stuff. So that one question made it fair on our GPU side and gained me 50% improvement in our score by asking a few words. If I open it myself, is it open box? I know the audience is thinking, well, then all the parts are going to be open box. Nope, this is the purchasing phase. Once we're back there, it's no longer, you can't then say I'm opening the boxes. Therefore, I just literally cheated, which is fine. But he cheated because he spent 10 hours shopping. I didn't. This is massive. My new total is $529.90. That's insane. So that means minus 750. Now I have a 220% day, yeah, because we just saved $80 from a 7600 to an A750. And by checking our charts, the A750 was beating the 7600. So in me just like kind of figuring out that Austin had an A750, he was gonna destroy us just with that performance to cost alone. Now through my tomfoolery, we have a completely even playing field. And he told me he's gonna print me an open box label to make it legit. I mean, it has today's date and everything on it. That's perfectly fine. Legit. Okay, so obviously now we have spent the last 2 hours picking our parts and throwing a wrench in things, because I knew for a fact you were gonna be pre-shopping, which was just like, that's cheating, because I did not pre-shop at all.
Look, I'm not.
I knew I was in trouble when you were like, they don't have a lot of open box stuff. I'm like, how would I know that? How would they know
You
that?
can't tell me that I'm cheating when I did my research. I'm trying to make sure that I'm coming in as
The spirit
informed
of the
as
competition
possible.
was you show up and you put your knowledge to the test.
So you're saying that you shouldn't watch a Jay's 2 cents video before you go into Micro Center to build your PC?
Don't ever watch one of my videos for advice. For the live audience right behind us here, what we did was we had a $750 build challenge, and we were going to see who could have the fastest computer at, we were going to do Cinebench, we were going to do Geekbench, we were going to do Time Spy, non-extreme, and superposition, like non-RT stuff. But what that came up with in the middle of shopping was, for every dollar under budget is 1% score increase. So now you're like, oh, so how much do we rely on practical score versus artificial score?
Basically, Jay was losing, so he changed the rules right before we started building.
It was the only way I knew that all the shopping you had done would no longer matter.
So here's the thing. I only had to change one component, and the rest of my system was exactly the same.
Same here. 1, 2, 3.
GPU.
Okay, so we'll go through the parts list here. We'll start with the little stuff, the stuff we think probably are going to match. So SSD?
SSD. I mean, obviously, Inland Prime. Yeah.
$24.99, 1 terabyte drive.
Should we do RAM? Because I think maybe we got the same RAM. Ripjaws?
$24.99.
You can't beat this.
$24.99, 32 gigabyte kit of DDR4, CL16 3200. Power supply.
Power supply. Yeah, you're not gonna like my power supply. The white Thermaltake 500 for $41.99.
I went with the 650 watt power spec.
$74.
No, that's not what it costs. This is the balance of knowing I was giving it away. I didn't want to give something away that, look, I look at it this way. If something was returned, I don't know why it was returned, but I don't want to maybe have that person have to deal with that return again. This was $64.99.
I just want to win, so I got the cheapest things possible.
Okay, so this is where now we're gonna start feeling the separation. Okay, I'll go first on motherboard.
Motherboard, okay, yeah.
And it's funny, the board that you went with, because I just saw it.
Yeah.
I was considering it. So I went with an B450. So anyway, there's a combo deal with $20 off if you get a motherboard and a CPU. We decided we're not going to include the combo. We're just going to go with the MSRP
actual prices.
Yeah, and the price on here is not what we paid.
How much is that one?
This one is.
This one was $70.
$79.
Oh. Ooh, only $10 more actually. But hey, 10% performance. You know what they say about 10%? It's good.
Your desire to win is so bigger than your Dedication to the audience is sad.
Yeah, I want to win. Someone's gonna get a bunch of free stuff. You can swap something out. I just want to win. Okay.
Okay, our last
CPU or
CPU.
Okay.
I have a feeling we're definitely different.
We are most certainly different.
All right, what do you got?
Ryzen 5 3600.
Oh, see, I considered that.
Yeah?
I did consider that. I went with a 5500.
Oh, that's a
6 core,
idea.
12 thread, newer generation Ryzen processor cores.
8
So we're
lanes of
talking
PCI.
Zen 3. What's that?
Isn't it 8 lanes of PCI on that? On the standard 5500?
It's not going to matter with our GPU selections
Fair.
because
fair.
we're still talking PCIe Gen 4.
How much was that?
89?
What? No, it's not.
Yes,
no,
it is.
That's not true.
89.99. I had it confirmed with Jason.
Oh. Well, I got it at Ryzen 5 3600 for $80 because I thought that was $100. Oh.
No,
well,
but
it's
no,
another
the
10%.
it was 109 that you're thinking. That was the one next to it. This was behind the doors covered it.
Okay, all right, let's do GPU.
Yes, and I have a funny story about this one.
Okay, would you like to go first? Because I feel like I always go first.
Okay, so I have an open box A750.
What? What? There were 2 of them?
No. I opened it to inspect it, which made it open box, and they printed me a label for it so that we could make it fair. I said, if I open this, can we call it an open box? And they were like, yeah. So I cut it open, and they printed me a label, so now we have an even playing ground.
I'm about to go sign up for a Micro Center credit card and get a discount on my order right now.
I said, we talked about it, now wait a minute. How is ARC comparing? Because I had a 7600 in my cart.
Yeah.
And the 7600, it's a good deal, but it was $280 for the 7600. These are $249 at MSRP, which I was like, oh, that's a great deal. And I went, do you guys have an open box one? They're like, we did.
They ratted me out!
So that's when I went, okay, if I buy at MSRP, you have a 50% advantage. That's when I was like, my inner Linus was like, asked to open it for a discount.
Okay, you know what?
That was smart. Give it to me.
I would give you that. Normally, I would call shenanigans.
I literally said, I will buy it and return it right now to make it legitimately an open box.
So I'm pretty sure that's not a Micro Center proof strategy. And if you try that and you're not Jay's 2 cents, you will be asked to leave.
It might be considered theft. Don't.
That's the Jay discount. Okay.
I offered to buy it.
Well, okay. Well, I'm glad you did. What did you have for your case?
I have a sneaky suspicion you don't have one.
Whatever would make you think that?
Now, I feel like that's technically cheating only because one of the things that makes it a build is the fact that you have the main components.
I have a case.
Okay, the cardboard box is not a case.
I have a home for my components.
So anyway, this was an MATX Cooler Master Q300L. It was $34. It's literally the cheapest case they have here. And it's micro ATX, so my entire build had to hinge on micro ATX. So I chose this case first and then chose a platform that would work on micro ATX so it fits in here. That way, at the end of the day, when I beat you, it'll still look nicer.
Here's the thing though, how are you gonna beat me? Think about it. You've spent an additional that's 35% off. My system, and I'm way cheaper. How are you gonna
What was
win
your
this?
total cost?
$441.
So I'm $529.
I've got 100%. You have to double my score to win. You're not gonna do it.
No, it's probably not gonna happen. And I even said I feel good enough about the fact that I'm giving a complete
Good guy Jay.
new system.
Giving away a PC with components that he helpfully
New
open
system.
boxed. How convenient. Okay, I'm not gonna say anything.
I'm not giving them 4-year-old processor tech.
Oh, sure. Sure. Is your power supply gonna explode?
No.
Maybe not. But am I gonna win the benchmarks?
I have to really hope the CPU does not perform, and I'm going to have to overclock this system. And that's exactly how I won Scrap Grid Wars, because we lost until we were losing. We did our preliminary test until I overclocked, and we won by a couple percent. All right. May the best man win.
I'll be done in about 5 minutes.
It would probably take you, how long, do you know how to build a computer?
So I put,
your reaction alone to seeing the open box sticker on this ARC was worth the entire day.
here's the thing, I specifically saw it, I sniped it out of the case so you wouldn't be able to get it because I saw that was clearly the best deal. I will be humble in my victory today.
There's nothing humble about you today.
Not one bit.
Give me a break.
Can we just get a quick check? Who here thinks that Jay built a better looking system? And what about mine? That's
on the other side.
That was way closer than I expected it to be.
Okay, what do you think about your system?
Actually, you know, to be honest, the fact that this is under $600.
What was your final total again?
Like 520 something. I don't know my phone. It was like 529 or something like that. What?
There's a magnetic dust filter. There you go. There you go.
No, ironically, there are no intake fans on this.
But it looks nicer now.
It does look nice, and you can fit two 140s in the front. So for the build, I know some people are gonna get triggered by it. No, I didn't. I was saving that for whoever gets it to do their own peel. Don't you use it.
Okay, fine.
So I flipped the power supply fan so it's feeding or getting air from inside the chassis as an exhaust. And we were gonna put the rear fan on the front, so at least we had some crossflow. Yeah. The issue is this particular motherboard doesn't have a single fan header on that side of the board. So the cable wouldn't have reached. And it's got feet on the side panel, so you can also put it as a, lay it down flat.
My system doesn't do any of that. It just
You
sits
can
here.
technically lay it any way you want. But
as long as they stay together. So I'm very proud of this. I'm very happy for the record. Then once you close it up, what you'll see is that it expertly is nice and neat. And because I don't have a power button, I have easy access to jump it using my easy access port.
You don't even have a...
No. This comes with an iFixit kit to jump your computer every time.
Yeah, because, other pins nearby are not a problem.
No, is there anything here that could be a flammable fire hazard or a potential electrical issue?
Yes. Oh, it's like the apartment all over.
Run it. Hold on.
You know what? And on that note, I shall easily transport my system back over here.
You're disqualified.
All right, here we go. Where's the power?
You gotta keep going until it's in the center. Well, actually, you can mark it.
It turned on.
That's the first one. That's the first one. Now, do we get actual signal?
Okay, it looks like we have we do have a standby. We have a standby light. First Ryzen post always takes a long time, so now we play the waiting game.
This is not looking promising over on Team J over here.
I think it's perfectly fine.
Maybe it flew a little too close to the sun with that 5500.
Let's see if yours
Okay,
posts.
let's go over to my side. We're gonna flip the switch on my power supply.
Make sure it's on that bottom.
Okay, we got power. We got power. Okay.
What time's your
Push
flight?
it with your foot against the wall.
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yes!
That was the longest post of my life.
Okay, so we're up and running. A little update. It was actually a bad RAM after I went through changing the CPU more than once, changing the motherboard, and thinking it was a BIOS. It actually ended up being a bad RAM stick. I mean, at least if you were to experience something like this. We were in the tech bar for all this. But anyway, the tech bar is designed to help you with problems like this with any of your stuff. But if you just choose the Have Micro Center build it, they would deal with all this for you. Okay, so after all of the crap I went through right now to figure out it was just a bad RAM stick after rebuilding the computer twice, basically. Okay, so our 3D Mark score combines 11,704.
Interesting. This is the standard 3D Mark times 5. Yours is 11,704. Mine, 11,232.
So that's probably realistically just the 5%.
Yeah, because you've got a slight overclock on both CPU and GPU.
Going backwards now with GPU, superposition.
Superposition, so mine is 14,839.
Mine's 14,727. Mine's technically a little bit slower than yours, even though there's an overclock applied to it.
What? Wait.
There's so many.
That is definitely margin of error.
There's so many
Should
margins
be
of error in the
every
system.
18 inches.
8,008.
7522. So that's definitely a little bit more of a substantial win.
You know, the 3600 is much closer to the 5500 than I expected. Cinebench?
9224.
10,270.
So you've definitely got a lead.
Utilizes the difference very closely. So now we need mathematical Ken over here, Kenneth the robot, to somehow figure out how these scores. We know Austin's already won because of the price difference, right? So what is the total? So my total was $529.90 for this build.
441. Round up 442.
So I technically have 220.1% increase to the score.
We'll be right back after we do a whole lot of math. Okay, what is our final score? No.
I've not actually looked
Here's
at
the
this
thing.
monstrosity yet.
It's got support.
It's
from
so
the
warm
cardboard.
still. Why is it so warm still?
What do you mean? It's a.
So 143,000.
I really had it up.
Check that.
Maybe it should have been a half a point per dollar.
Okay. For my system, we've got
174,000.
Wow, that's actually closer than I thought it was going to be.
actually not that bad. Good fight, my friends.
But the more important thing is we need to give them away. So I think it's time to have, where did he go? We got him with the raffle tickets. We got Jason over there. Let's see if we can't give these away. 4. 4. What's with these double numbers? Wow. Look at that. 6, 6, and 4, 4. I mean, what is that all about? All right, man. Are you excited?
Yeah, I am.
All right.
I was actually like, this is gonna be for my wife. I've been trying to build her a PC for a while.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So what was your name again?
Devlin.
Devlin.
Yeah.
So what, the components and stuff that are in here, is there anything already you're like, oh, I want to change that, or are you just going to use it as is?
I think I'm gonna just use it as is. Maybe get a new case. My wife has actually been looking at the Fractal North.
Oh yeah, the North, the wood and stuff on it,
Yeah,
right?
she likes that one a lot.
It's very nice. It almost looks like a piece of furniture.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's the cool thing about this particular MATX motherboard is the fact that it'll fit in any case, and then now you have a spare case if you don't want to do. Or maybe donate it to the, I don't know. But anyway, thanks for hanging around today. It was nice to meet you. And enjoy your new PC.
Yeah, thanks.
If I was gonna lose to anything, I guess a cardboard monstrosity sort of. You know, I've wanted to do a video like this for so long. I just can't bring myself to do it. I've made cardboard shrouds and air conditioners, and I have even like Ellen-2'd with random stuff, but I can't bring myself to do this.
I'm so happy with it. It's like the IKEA times 12, right? Because I actually built it with my own.
No, because at least IKEA stuff comes with instructions and is intended to go together in a certain way.
When I build IKEA, it also looks like this stuff. So
I've seen his studio, it's true. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching today's video. Hope you guys have had a good time watching me struggle, really, with trying to get the system up and running. It's not my fault it was a bad stick of RAM. But anyway, I could have probably started with some of the easier troubleshooting aspects rather than going right to BIOS thinking that's what it was. But anyway, a huge thank you to Micro Center also for flying us both out here and getting to check out the brand new store in Indianapolis. So if you're in the area or you're not, make your way down here. They've got huge grand opening deals. These systems, to be honest, for what we paid, would not have been possible without those deals.
it would have been 50, 60 bucks more easily without
more.
these deals. Yeah,
Easily
so
more.
good.
So anyway, again, thanks Micro Center for bringing us out, and you guys should come down here and see what Micro Center has to offer as well. As always, we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you. Nose is running. Full leak. GPUs are just too expensive. Anything good? Just Stop Oil gets a taste of their own medicine. What? Did they block them?
This is Michael, a Just Stop Oil protester. Except his name isn't Michael, and he's not a real protester. He's a mole. In fact, this man is one of our producers who has been undercover with Just Stop Oil for the past few weeks. Many are arguing that their tactics are putting people off the environmental cause.
Oh, good. Fucking nailed them.
And support my family. And you are stopping all of us. Do you think any of us want you there? No.
With hundreds of JSO members solving climate change by hosting a party. With the mole in place, we sent in the team. This is Michael, a Just Stop Oil protester. Except his name isn't Michael, and he's not a real protester. He's a mole. In fact,
Why are you showing that guy's butt? That was thrilling, dude. I think one of my fans is going to take a shit. Hear it? That's weird. Why would that happen? Hmm. Bum, bum, bum. My pants feel like they're gonna fall down. I don't see anything fucking good. What the fuck is that? Damn it.
And that is their prerogative.
All right, let's go straight to the podium now there in Shepherd, Texas, where we continue to get some updates on that chemical fire.
Scene will be turned over to the private company, and they have a private hazmat crew that will be coming in and handling up the cleanup on this. Local fire crews will remain on site throughout the night to monitor any possible fires that may pop up. We'll have a Montgomery County task force with the with the fire marshal office that will come through, and they will do the investigation once the scene is opened up to them. All other updates will be through social media, so this right now will be our last press conference. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Ryan Weiss with TCEQ.
Thank you. Ryan Weiss, External Relations, TCEQ. We have folks going on scene currently as we speak to assess the site and oversee what needs to be done regarding remediation and cleanup. We'll be working with the company and contractors through that process. We have mobilized 2 air monitoring vans that have been deployed from Austin and Beaumont. They're currently en route and will be conducting air monitoring throughout the evening. We also have contractors conducting air monitoring through handheld devices around Livingston and north of the site. Right now, that's all the information I have available, and we'll be providing updates through social media, Facebook and TCQ Facebook page, and Twitter. Thanks.
So real quick, just an update on the individual that was hurt on this incident. He is doing well. People have been in contact with him. I just ask that y'all keep him in y'all's prayers. So at this time, we're going to go ahead and open up for any questions.
Is 59 still closed?
All right. First of all, thank you, everyone, for pushing that information out to the community about the roadways closures and detours. I really do appreciate that. That big question is when the roadway is going to be opened up. Honestly, we were looking at it possibly last night. But I can tell you today, right now, it's going to be real soon. I don't want to give you a timetable of how many 45 minutes, because if it's 55, I'm wrong. I don't want to be right. So I'm telling you, it's going to be real soon, sooner than you think. Just be patient. We appreciate you pushing that information out to us. We'll let you guys know as soon as we get those roadways opened up so the community can get back on their feet. Thank you very much. That's it. That answer your question? All right.
What safety procedures took place that were able to help maintain the spill or make this?
So the answer to your question is, so the company.
Why do they keep fucking saying that? The answer to your question. The answer to your question.
We brought in some very well trained professionals.
What is that place?
Harris County, Montgomery County,
Chemical plant.
Liberty County, Polk County, and our county, and they've been working real well together, trying to get this knocked out.
And how long will the air quality testing be going on? Will this be for a few days, for a week? Do you have a time period for that?
I don't have a time period right now. Once our folks arrive around the site and start conducting some air monitoring, we'll review that data and make those decisions at a later date.
Respiratory illnesses outside of contacting the doctor, do they need to report that to anybody?
I would just report that to local health officials and go from there.
Can you guys tell us any more information about the forklift incident that may have caused the fire?
So the preliminary investigation was that there was
Oh,
on the forklift. He noticed that there was some chemicals leaking from a container. He went to lift that container up, and then he noticed that there was a fire and there was ignition. Like I said, we won't have any more information on that until after the investigation is completed.
Was the fire already started when he went to lift it, or was it in separate events?
I can't answer that question.
Can someone answer the question what parents should call children, what they should do? Should they be concerned about kids that want to go outside and play with the air quality?
Like we said, we've had monitors out all day. There's, as of right now, there hasn't been anything detected in the air.
Ryan, could you speak to the record of this company? I understand there was an evaluation done in the last year or so here.
I can't speak to that right now, but I can follow up with you and get you that information.
I can probably.
And of course, he's never going to say anything to him.
Sound resources.
Yeah, we'll follow up and get you that information later.
Has been out to the facility. They did
I bet you they never see it.
February, and no deficiencies. Not even a suggestion as to what we could do better. The company's tried to be a good steward for 14 years. We got a lot of work to do to figure out the incident itself, and so I don't want to comment a lot on it. And I know people want answers. We're going to get you answers, not speculation. But our record with TCEQ is good. We're proud of the work we do. It doesn't look like it today, but again, we're the people you want doing this type of work. Yes, sir.
Can you just talk on a personal level for you and the employees how this has kind of been an impact for y'all today?
We grew from nothing to 40 employees out here, and we're proud of what we do. They're proud of what they do. Everybody just wants to know how are we going to get back. So everybody's coming together. Everybody's really concerned that one of us got hurt today and that he's burned. So we're all really just hoping that that goes well. As long as he's okay, then we can fix the rest.
You had mentioned earlier the flammable materials that you work with in there. Can you talk about what those are actually used for and what you elaborate on what you make?
Yeah, we work in oil and gas, paint and coatings, and wastewater treatment. The flammable material we handle is very similar to diesel. It's the same danger you have when you're pumping your gas. So, I'm sorry. So, really very generic products, no reactive chemistry, stuff that we know.
I'm gonna
and that we've been doing for
make a lot of noise, so I'm gonna turn this shit off for a while and come back.
The best message we can give you is that all our guys are doing good.